I'm going to be as positive tonight as I can possibly be, but I'm only going to say this one time. Don't fuck with me. Okay? The soundboard is ready. All right? We'll get your ass up out of here real quick. So I need y'all to understand how we're rocking tonight. You are live. You know what, Shan? Just go ahead and start because I'm telling you, just be ready.
This man is ready. Okay. Y'all, welcome to Loudmouth Stereo. My name is Shan from She Gets a Podcast. That is Greg. He has some heavy artillery tonight from Young Black and Bothered, and we are here to give you a good show. All right. You can find our podcast on any podcast platform. You have your Apple, you have your Spotify, your Castbox, you have your Radio Public, you got your Google. Whatever you want for podcast, you can find us. And don't forget us on social media. You got Young Black and Bothered on Twitter and on IG. You got She Gets It Pod on Twitter and IG. And don't forget to pick up some merch at www.whoisshan.com at Loudmouth Stereo Shop. All right. So the topic for tonight is what makes the way you date unacceptable? Because it's a lot of, two ways being looked at it where everybody's always congratulating Future on the new bad piece he got, the new got, right? And then you got someone with a gentle face and a swift black book of men of a high caliber like a Lori Harvey. And every time Lori Harvey gets her a new man piece, it's a roar in the community of Twitter. It's a roar in the community of IG. And we have someone with a face only a mother could love, Boosie, talking about he would never wife a Lori Harvey. And I just want to know, is she not allowed to date? Is she not allowed to quietly, without the drama, move on to the next person that she wants to find interesting? Was she supposed to have a baby by one and then move on? Was she supposed to be with one and be untouchable forever? I'm confused. Why is it that men get to date how many women they want, whenever they want, and move on, but a woman can't? Once a woman do it, she's deemed, that's trash. She's for the streets. But when a man does it, he's deemed like, oh, that's a boss. He making boss moves out here. He does nothing but deal with the pretty bitches. Always with the pretty bitch, somebody everybody else wants. But then when she understands that she can run the game as well as the men can, people get offended.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to understand what makes the way they acceptable.
Basically, because men ain't shit. Let's just start there. Not only just that, as someone who used to ain't be shit, and I'm correcting myself to be shit, a lot of men have expectations of women that just are like completely fucking outrageous. But I want to start with what you said about Boosie. You couldn't even sniff the pussy, sir. I'm sick of this shit. I'm absolutely fucking sick of it. I'm absolutely fucking sick of men who couldn't touch or sniff the pussy talking about what they would do if they got the pussy or when they have the pussy, when you don't have the pussy. So there's that. But men always like to categorize the women that they want without saying that they want them. Men who are like, oh, well, I couldn't date a woman who had, more than 2 or 3 sex partners. Like, but you want her to be an expert at fucking. How, friend?
Her daddy didn't teach her that. Her mama didn't teach her that. The pastor at church didn't teach her that.
Talk to these people. I'm gonna unload the clip tonight. I'm gonna wait. Because I got them ready. They locked and loaded. Let me.
It's like you got Boosie saying Lori Harvey is not wifey material and homeboy shouldn't be with her or whatever. Shouldn't be proud of that. Sir, you had a grown woman suck off your child.
Exactly.
Have a seat. Your mic is off.
Yeah.
Right? You should have nothing to say.
Yeah. But it's people like that, though, that do shit like that. I'm still trying to figure out why he even told. You had a grown woman give your underage son oral sex. That shit is scary to me. Not only is it scary because it's like a kid, But the fact that like Boosie just continuously, perpetually just puts his fucking foot in his mouth.
Right.
And this new thing where he just talks where it's like it's not needed, it's not wanted. And then he says shit like in spaces where you know he's never been. Like Lori Harvey's not checking for him. And he's never said anything about Lori Harvey until now. So it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like, okay, like if she's the hot topic, he's going to be like saying something about them. But his like Boosie, have you looked at you, sir? I can go into my bag about like shit that Boosie has said over like the course of 2020 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
But my issue, like the same way you would, I have like an even like I won't say even worse because that's not a thing. But you know, the fact that he doubled down on this shit and made the comments, it's like, yo, like, what is it? Just niggas like him, or is it just like men in general, where we speak out of turn, and you know, we judge the way that women specifically date? Because I've never heard a man like he wouldn't go to Michael B. Jordan and say, hey, well, this is what you should do and this is what you shouldn't do. It's
Right.
only women
Yeah.
every single time. Like, and I know men like that where they like to categorize and put buckets, you know, of certain women out there. So there's the woman that they would marry, the woman that they would fuck, and then there's the hoes. But here's the thing. They go after the hoes because they're in the bucket of what you would call a hoe. But the thing is, those are wives. Those are somebody's girlfriends. These are people. They just classify them as hoes. But, you know, like you, I want to know, why can't the hoes be, you know, and that's not me being derogatory, I'm just using that term, but why can't they be accepted and why can't they date? Because they're fucking just like, you know, a wife would fuck or a girlfriend would fuck or the woman that you want would fuck. But
Mm.
is it because you can't attain her? Is it because like she's not
So,
attracted to you? Like
being
what is it?
the fact, I think it's the fact that women now have the option to say no,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how much money a man has, no matter what they think they can do. Because Lori Harvey is not poor. Her
No.
mom is married to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is her stepdad. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
she can make her money from showing up at different clubs, just like most celebrities. Most of her friends are celebrities. Um, she it's just like, okay, she's in a lifestyle where she can pick what her standard is going to be, and clearly her standard is the men who are up. We got a Diddy son to a Diddy.
Yeah.
We got Future. We got and I'm so glad that didn't go anywhere. We got, which she just has a plethora of options, and then she has the money to go ahead and be amongst the elite. So we are going to see her in the paparazzi. It's just she gets so like, you know, judged because she is having a drama free dating life in her 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, white women been doing this all their life.
Yep.
Spanish women been doing this all their life. Is it just because she's a black woman that she can do this?
Yep. To them.
Is
But
it because men today that have money and can move around and date like Lori hate the fact that somebody don't put Lori on the leash and keep her in the house?
yeah. Well, it's to me what I'm thinking. The best way to put it is like women have standards and men have objectives. Like men have a goal to reach when it comes to women, but the thing is, the goal is the same, which is fucking. Like you could have 9 toes and 4 fingers. As long as your ass is fat, as long as your pussy get wet, they're going to fuck. But the thing is, if you're out of the class of women that they know that they can fuck, or the women that would actually look at them or respond to them on the street,
Mm.
they don't want that shit. That's why when you see like guys, like I've seen it all my life, like when I see men catcall women and the women that keep walking by, it's, well, fuck you then, bitch. But then the women who turn around and, you know, like look and just take the compliment and then just keep on going, they treat them a little bit better because they feel as though, you know, as men, they feel as she gave me something. The bare
Yeah,
minimum, she gave me 1%.
go show.
And that's okay. That's okay. But God forbid if the next dude who did the same shit, you know, to her when she crossed the street, if she did that, it's, oh, look at her, she a hoe. She ain't doing this. But I'm like, yo, but what the fuck? You just did the exact same fucking thing that dude did across the street. What is the problem? What is the issue here? You're doing this shit because, like, honestly, as a man, like, when I see other men do this shit, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to men or women, but when I see it, because, you know, I have siblings and stuff like that. I have women that I know, and you and I are like close friends. So if I were to see that, like, me, I can't check it because it's like, okay, that's some shit that, like, you know, men do, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like, do you have to do it? Like, like, at what point do men just honestly just stop and realize that, you know what, like, you can't have them all. You are not Ash Ketchum. This is not Pokemon Go. You cannot catch them all.
Pokemon.
So in Boosie's case, like, I've never met Boosie. I'm sure he is exactly who he portrays himself to be online, which is cool. My issue with Boosie is, like, I could never be in the same space with him because he always says something that's just like, it's not there. I think him and T.I., they have to be like brain cousins or something. They always say something that is always at the wrong, inopportune time. Like, he wouldn't dare go to Michael B. Jordan. It's like, yo, like, you know, your girl, like, she, you know, she ain't it. Like, she, like, what? How is Lori Harvey not shit? How is she just not the one? He said, and I quote, he said, I think we need to stop. We need to stop giving the women with power. I'm sorry. We need to stop giving the women with the power situations like this. Then he also suggested that male bachelors get plenty of criticism, but it's not the same for women. Bro, this shit must cease. This shit has to stop.
What are you talking about?
He said, he continues, because here's the thing. At some point, he doesn't know how to just, like, you know, cut it off. He says, we got to start giving the bachelors, the men who are running through a beautiful woman like this, credit, not housing her, running through her. Sir. Sir.
So he's mad that Michael is not dogging her?
You know, it's I just don't. I'm trying to find the words without, like, really cursing at this man. Here's the thing.
Say that they're dating on some forever shit. Why can't they be just dating because they're dating?
Exactly. But I mean, this is just something that, honestly, just men who can't have, they do this shit. Like, if I can't have you, I'm going to talk shit about you. There are men right now who, instead of saying, you know what, I'm attracted to women like Lizzo, they'll say, you know what, Lizzo fat. Or, you know, I don't do BBWs and shit like that. Like, you're deflecting. Just admit that you like big women. Just admit that you like women. More important, like, Lizzo's not fucking talking to you. Shit. Yo, you could not sniff her fucking toenail if, like, you walk down the street and Lizzo say, you know what, like, I want you. It's not going to happen. So for Boosie's been in prison longer than he could actually withstand a relationship. So the fact that homeboy really, this nigga had the nerve to say, like, yo, like, we need to stop giving women power in situations like this. Like, what is the situation? She is dating a man. Right. But the thing is, if you take that same conversation to a man, you're not going to, you're not going to present it that same way. To Lori Harvey, he'd be like, hey, yo, like, you know, as a man, this is what I would do. But see, for you, I couldn't do it. Like, you know, Michael B. Jordan, like, you know, you need to be the man in the situation. She need to be the woman. But for what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he, like, there are certain men, I used to be this way, where, like, I was, like, dead set on, like, gender roles, and, you know, a man needs to do this and a woman needs to do this, and this is just what it is, and, you know, it's just story, like, textbook type of, you know, shit. But at some point you have to realize, like, we're not, like, 14 anymore. We're not 15. We're not children. We've grown up and we've learned that times do change, and we're not stuck in fucking 1954. Like, that's just not the case anymore. So for Boosie, I don't know how he was raised. I don't care how he was raised. But for him to double down and say things that he said, I just need to know. I want to hear from the listeners, like, yo, why? Like, do all men think like this? Because I've learned to not. And now that I'm married, I've kind of, like, changed my perspective on things in a major way. But to still hear this shit, I'm like, yo, he's older than me. At what point do it stop? Does it stop when you actually find you the person that you want to be with? Does it stop when you're happy? And more importantly, why are niggas talking like they can attain women that they can't, and then when they can't attain them, they're talking shit about them? That one, it kills me.
But I
need to know the answer.
It's kind of like when I get annoyed when men stand around and have arguments, full-grown arguments about what basketball players gonna get what team and who gonna get picked up and who got the biggest contract. It's not your money. You're not in the game. So why are we having this discussion? You could talk about how they play, but we don't need to be counting another man's pockets.
Yeah. as long as women are having the trauma and the shit and the stories that I hear on like social media about what they have done and what they've seen on dating sites, men shouldn't be really saying much because I have friends. I've talked to women and they tell me the shit that y'all talk about in these inboxes, and that shit is not right. Um, More of y'all have no fucking game, like none. No,
They don't
you know what? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do this?
do
I'm fine with reading this off. Okay,
do it.
so um, I have a friend. So I think Alyssa, she's in the chat right now, so she can feel free to leave a voicemail if she wants to. But I am going to share some of the fucking messages that she gets. And the only reason I'm doing this because I care so much. She is a near and dear friend to me. Her and I, we've known each other for a very long time. Back when I was a hoe, that's how long we've known each other. So we'll take it for what it is. She goes and she puts on Instagram the shit that she gets from guys and the messages that she gets. So this is what a guy's profile says. And Shane, let me know if you would talk to this guy or not. He says, "Yo," and mind you, there's no periods and everything is in capitalized. Every word is capitalized. So here we are. "Yo, straight to the point. I'm 6'3". DC made me. NYC, New Jersey trained me. I'm well groomed, excellent hygiene habits. I always smell good as fuck. I'm employed, no criminal history, very laid back, and drama free. I'm a very honest, raw and uncut type of gentleman, but laid back and reserved as well. I do appreciate a nice juicy ass, but I'm definitely a breast man. Not a must, but very much a plus. Just browsing, looking for some attractive, chill, drama-free honeys to vibe with. FYI, I chase liquor, not honeys."
Are you done?
He's 35, by the way. But yeah, go ahead. Just
He's blocked.
he said I'm sorry, ladies, let me just say this to you. As a man, any guy who says that they're very laid back and drama free, that's a fucking lie.
He loves.
Nobody just no human just says, you know what, I'm drama free. That is where the drama lays. Like they are the drama. So also, any guy who says that they have excellent hygiene habits, they only shower twice a week. I can guarantee you this. Like that is excellent hygiene habits. Like going and like perpetrating who you are, bro, you're not doing it. He says also, I always smell good as fuck. That's the bare minimum. Like what? The ceiling is the floor. What the fuck is going on here? Then, dudes, this is how left he went. After he says, I'm a very honest, raw and uncut type of gentleman, but laid back and reserved as well. He follows that up by saying, I do appreciate a nice, juicy ass, but I'm definitely a breast man. Yo, I don't know if he has attention deficit disorder or what, but what the fuck was that? This is what women have to deal with. Yo, please, like, start dating each other at this point because men are fucking terrible. That's your profile, bro. This is how you present yourself. So he goes into a job interview with a tie and jeans on and Tim's.
No,
what the fuck is going?
A whole funeral suit and think he should definitely have the job.
Shan, I'm not even done.
That you're not done.
No. There's a 30-year-old that messaged her as well. He says, I'm easy to reach on Instagram, and then drops his Instagram. If you give your number out to the world, swipe left on me. I want my girl to belong to my meat and not the streets, bro.
What?
I'll read it again because this is fire. This is absolute fire. Where's my soundboard? He says I'm easy. He says I'm easier to reach on Instagram, and then he puts at his Instagram. If you give your number out to the world, swipe left on me. I want my girl to belong to my meat and not the streets. So fire. Oh my God. What the what? Oh, we're not done, Shan.
Oh no.
Another guy used a Pedmas. So he says, life shouldn't be so serious. Live a little. And he gave her four eye emojis. So one was like a smile, one was a wink, one was another smile, and then another one equaled a wink. So clearly math is not his clearest, his good suit, if you want to call it that. Another guy left her a message, says, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. She ordered the jerk. She said, "You are what you eat." Yes, I'm a jerk, but in a good way. LOL. If you don't feel like all food can be put in a taco or burrito, you are not living life.
Why did he send her that?
Yo, who are these guys, man? Who are they? I'm
Men with
I need
no.
somebody to honestly just like his. Okay, so that's just what I got from her inbox, like what she had like put on the stories. But there are messages. There are what they call copy paste, and you can search this right now. You can go online and you can type in online dating profile copy paste. Right? I'm going to read you some because they're fucking good.
I hate that.
They're fucking good. Yeah, it's so good. One says, "You think you can just waltz up on my page, creep up on my pics, read my about me, totally agree with it, and then just leave without a trace, comma, LOL. I've got my eyes on you. You owe me a hello message, which I expect in my inbox, and I want it in 12-point font, single space with a good thesis to start. Think you can handle that? LOL."
Yeah.
I am terrified for humanity. If this is how, another dude says, "How many nice seafood dinners would it take for you to turn into a bedroom acrobat in my house for years to come?" Yo, this shit is not right. Bro, this, yo, how do you, okay, let me repeat that. Because not only is that shit comical, trying to read that, I started laughing, so I had to stop. So it says, "How many nice seafood dinners would it take for you to turn into a bedroom acrobat in my house for years to come?"
And she probably said none because she probably allergic.
No, oh, no, there's more. Here's another one. "I'd seriously hug a cactus, then swim through shark-infested waters to the Arctic and battle an angry mother polar bear on an iceberg for a chance to get to know you."
Ew. That's too much, sir.
Yo, if this is what online dating is, yo, ladies, I need you to go get the clit sucker. I cannot think of the name off the top of my head, but I need you to go get that. Like, we are actually sponsored by them. So if you need to go to dameproducts.com, I suggest it. I implore you to go to dameproducts.com and get you all of the sex toys you can possibly get. The one that I personally suggest, that it does things. It's a very special vibrator. It is called the Arc. Go get the Arc, go get the Palm, go get the Eva 2. The Eva 2, you can move like in different positions and it'll stay there. It'll stay put. It'll get you to where you need to get, because these niggas are trash.
I agree. It's like they don't know what and then on top of you having a whole phone and not being in front of me, you still need to copy and paste something that's already pre-written.
That is why I'm so confused, and I don't want to like talk too much about it. I want to hear from these people. Like, I know, listen, she's in here. I saw her. She clapped like 15 times, so she knows I'm not joking. So shout out to her. But like, why? Like, have you had to deal with shit like this before?
I've had men come in my DMs and put in video footage of them being in other women in a sexual way.
Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. I need you to repeat that in English, because I don't think I quite heard you.
So a complete stranger came to my DM, was having like a one-word back and forth, and then just randomly posted multiple videos of him and his man piece in and out of several random women. Back to back.
Wow.
Back to back.
So he couldn't just send the obligatory, like, unsolicited dick pic. He said, "I have to go full force with this. Yeah. She has to see my meat."
He wanted me
getting beat from.
Yeah.
Yo, I must have been born on another fucking planet, because this certain I can't. I'm really fucking confused. All right, now I have to ask this, because I am a nasty individual, but I do have like some type of withdrawal from like, knowing things, but I need to know. In the video clips that he sent, did he have a condom on?
No.
Okay. All right. So clearly this is how you get worms. You end up going and, sending people unsolicited, not even dick pics. These are literally like, .mov movies. Like, these are actual films. You are, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who is listening to the sound of my voice, anybody who is on She Gets a Podcast or Young Black and Bothered podcast, let me just speak to you in your soul for a minute, fellas. If in a small case
Mm-hmm.
you record yourself having sex with a young lady,
Mm-hmm.
rule number one, the movie usually goes to her. That is hers. Enjoy it for the moment, but delete it when you leave. If she allows you to keep it, that isn't a reason for you to go send it to your pending bitches. And the only reason I'm using pending bitches is because it sounds really good. I'm actually going to use that for like my rap single whenever I become a SoundCloud rapper. Pending bitches, because who the fuck sends videos of them fucking other people to the people that they want to fuck? Like, hey, by the way, like just in case you thought I was lying about what this dick do, let me show you what this dick do. So now that you see what the dick do, you be like, I don't want to do it with the dick.
And then it was like 5 a.m. when he was like, "All right, where's yours?" And I just said, "I'm going to bed." I just went to bed.
Shannon, yo, 8 weeks ago on the same show, you and I talked about, women, they love nut videos. So a nut video, I think is fine. If that's what you like, ladies, cool. I can almost guarantee there's no woman on planet Earth that wants to see a guy that wants to fuck them fuck somebody else. Mm-hmm. Yo, because here's me. Maybe I'm trash, but if and when I was a hoe, because I was out here. Okay, I'm not gonna keep going here, but basically what I'm saying is when I was out here doing things I had no business doing, the one thing I wasn't doing when I was recording was holding the fucking camera. Mm-hmm. You can hold it. It can go sit on the counter, on the nightstand, shit like that. But what we're not going to do is I'm not going to be pulling Mr. Marcus shit and just like holding the fucking camcorder or the camera. And I'm just going in and out of you. Like, I need to focus here. This dick is good. This dick got me a baby and a wife. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not lying to you. But what's not going to happen is I'm not going to send somebody a video of me fucking someone else to them. What is wrong? Who raised you niggas? Like,
that's the problem. Like, these people out here are creeps, dog. They creeps.
So I need somebody to answer the question of like, yo, and I want men to just answer this for me. Like, what is unacceptable for y'all? Because clearly there's nothing. Clearly there's nothing that is unacceptable when it comes to men. But I just need to know from the men though, like, if a woman were to send you a picture of her getting her pussy ate by another dude, would you keep going? I can see it now. Oh, they were turning the little Boosie so fucking fast. They'd be like, oh, no, see, this is what I'm talking about. She a hoe. You want to do the same thing? Yo. Right. There are dudes who are right now on dating sites talking about the first message, talking about they want to eat ass. Yep. Talking about like, dude just said, I want you to follow me on Instagram because this ain't enough. Right. What is going on? Like, so you know what, Shane, go ahead and just take over because I'm pissed. That was.
I just want to know, like, for the listeners, how should you date in your 20s? And we're gonna move on to what makes your date unacceptable or acceptable. How do you properly date in your 20s without judgment? Because everybody has this preconceived notion that, oh, if you're feeling a person and they feeling you, and y'all want to, exchange energy the first night that y'all meet each other, that's fine. And some people like, if she gave it up, that means that, she not it because she did too much too quick. And some people have started full-blown relationships from someone where they both enjoyed each other the first night and they're married and they have children. So my thing is like, who's the measuring stick? Who tells you what you can and can't do when you date? And how are you supposed to date? For me in my 20s, I didn't do a lot of dating because I don't know. I just was never into it. I'm still not into it. And I'm in my 30s. I just like to talk to people I already know in a friendly way. And then if I would like us to be more, then we can have that discussion. But I don't somebody that's a complete stranger, give them my number, and we choose to go out to eat, or we choose to go talk randomly in a park somewhere and collect each other's data. I've never done that because that just seems so awkward to me. But some people do it, and that's why I can't really answer that. How you're quote unquote supposed to date in your 20s, because
Mm-hmm.
I've done dating wise has been tradition.
Mm.
How was dating
For
for you
me,
in your 20s?
for me in my 20s, it was a lot of fun. I will say that my 20s, the earlier 20s, because I've been with my wife for
Mm-hmm.
a very long time. But um, in my 20s, when I did date, it was about fun. But I had categories for the people that I dated. This gonna sound really fucked up, but it's the truth. So I had women that I dated or I had the potential to date, and
Mm-hmm.
then there were women who pretty much the expectation was penetration, if you want to call it that. So these were women that, it was just a physical thing. They knew it, I knew it, and that's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And if you weren't down, you weren't down. If you were down, you were down. And that's just what it was. But we had to have that grown up conversation and say, you know what are your expectations of me right now? And that's something that I like hold to like a high standard to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people in their 20s, like they don't ask the proper questions at the beginning. They wait until they've already given up their leverage and then to start to question things like, what are we? What are your expectations? Like, like you've already given that person all of you. So now there is no expectation because they have it.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people. I'm like, okay, like, there was one time where, I told a girl that I liked her and she said she liked me back, but she told me that she didn't want anything serious. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Nothing serious. Great. The issue came from her and I doing our thing, but I was also out here doing me, like getting to know somebody who actually wanted what I wanted, which was a relationship. And she wouldn't give me the relationship, she'd give me the tangibles for it. So when I would get the tangibles from her, I was cool with that. I was completely fine. But then when she started to see that I was showing interest in other places and I was getting to be more serious with, the person I was talking to at that time, she's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, this isn't going to work. We have to cut things off. I was like, trust me, like I was already there at that point, but
Mm-hmm.
you weren't. I thought that, you were okay with this. I thought you accepted this because you set the bar for me where it was just, physical for us and I can do what I was going to do. You're going to do what you're going to do. And we're going to just be doing us on the side. And
Right.
the moment that I was telling her this, she started to catch feelings. So when we had to have that sit down of, hey, I'm starting to like you, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I mean, I
Was that
always thought that that
after
was kind of
you guys
implied.
didn't want anything serious?
Yeah, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I thought it was implied we did like each other because here's the thing: I'm not fucking people I don't like. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all. I just don't put myself on someone that I do not have some type of like relationship with. I just don't have to have a relationship with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for her, she caught feelings in the midst of trying to avoid the fact that she had feelings for me. So when I found, someone who actually could reciprocate what I wanted, she got jealous about that because lo and behold, she was actually a bartender at one of the bars that I frequented. So I would go to the bar. Now I
We
wasn't disrespectful.
we've
Uh,
heard this one. Okay. Bringing me
What'd you
back.
say?
I said we've heard this one. I said you bringing me back. Okay.
Yeah. So you see where all my stories are starting to tie in. So everything kind of ties in together. So, for her, she was like, oh no, this is just a thing. This is hooking up, blah, 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 blah. Because she was taking other dudes serious. And the thing is, all the dudes she was taking seriously, they were treating her like she was treating me. Like, oh, you a piece of meat? Good. They're treating you like a piece of meat. And I actually wanted to be with her. Didn't work out. So then when I started to talk to somebody else, it was like, well, what do you mean? Like you just going out and doing your own thing, now all of a sudden you're busy on Saturdays. Yeah. Like me and her, we kicking it.
That's how this
So
works.
which yeah. So what would happen was, she would try to at one point in the situationship, if you want to call it that. Like I'm still talking to this girl, but the thing is, her and I were talking with the establishment of like there was nothing exclusive. It's like I like you, you like me, but we don't have anything yet. We're casually dating. But if you're out here, trying to find yourself. Cool. And that's how mature people should be, even in their 20s. Homegirl, and she's a little bit older, so I think she's like 3 or 4 years older than me. She says, and I quote, well, if I wanted the relationship with you, I would have started that way. And I was like, but you told me it was just all sex. She was like, well, I thought it was implied. No, it wasn't. Stop implying shit.
You didn't sue
What
me.
is your expectation of me?
Yeah, you can just
Yeah.
ask.
So, but that's because people don't go, like, I'm not saying go with the fucking notepad or like post-it notes and say what you want at the beginning, day one. No, like when you go and you have like a conversation that's meaningful, which is usually the first date when you start dating people, you're like, hey, hey, I'm Greg. Hey, who are you? And you're having a conversation across a table at a bar, something like that. Like, those are that moment right there is where you start to ask the important questions that aren't prying. You're not asking this person if they're a serial killer. You're not asking what type of panties they got on tonight. You're
Mm-hmm.
asking the questions of somebody that you could see yourself with for the coming future. It could be 30 days, it could be 6 months, it could be 6 years. You need to ask those questions at the beginning, because if you don't, that person is going to take what you say at face value if they're
Yeah.
like me. So when somebody tells me, excuse me, if somebody tells me, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, I already know what type of time they're on.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. That right there is, if anybody ever told me that, I already knew exactly what it was. If somebody says, I don't want anything serious, well, what the fuck are you here for?
Yeah.
You're either here for dick or conversation. I can give you both. I can give you one, but, or I can just leave.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many women in my past where it was like, okay, like I'm not looking for anything serious, because 9 out of 10 they were coming out of a relationship of their own, and they were trying to test the waters to see how like the dating life would be. And if that's what it's going to be, let me know that before. Let me know that your heart was broken. Let me know that you're not happy where you are in life right now, so I can actually try to help you through that. Because I don't have to be the man that you're with. I could be the friend that actually can get you, to a better place, help you understand why, men are the way that they are, or, tell you that all men aren't the same. And then you might actually develop feelings with me in the process, but you don't have to. It's not an obligation. But certain people, they don't go into meeting new people because they're stuck on the people that they're with or the person that they were with. So they go into this whole thing of trying to get to know new people, and they just don't lay everything out at the beginning. And I really wish, like, with all the platforms that give you the ability to do that, people would start doing that shit. Like these dating sites. Back when I was on these dating sites, I laid that shit out flat. Like, yo, this is what the fuck I want. Cause it's easy. Here's the thing: it's so easy to fuck people. It is so easy. Like, do you know how many fucking, like, this is before Ubers? Like, it was so easy to leave at like 2 o'clock in the morning and walk to where I needed to go, or drive to where I needed to go, because like, oh, like that was fun, but life goes on. But when you know you want something from somebody, you're like, you know what? Like, I want something from you, and I can see that from you. But if you don't want to give it to me, cool. I'm gonna keep going. I have to keep moving on. But a lot of people don't do that, and it's scary, because that, like, even with my friend who we read those messages before, I know she's a good, genuine woman. I know her. I've known her for over a decade. So the fact that, like, I've seen her like in a relationship, I've seen her happy, I've seen her sad, stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end, she knows what she wants. So when she goes and she sends these messages of these dudes, I'm like, yo, like, I get it. Dudes are trash, and dudes just, they'll tell you what you want to hear. But the thing is, like, when you meet these people, like, are they the same person that they're on, are online? And do you go and tell them what you want the moment that you meet them?
A lot of people don't tell people what they want the moment they meet them. They assume what this person would want from me. They assume what all women want. They assume what all men want, and it's not the same. I'm just to the point where I like to be direct. Like, I'm not gonna go
Mm-hmm.
on the page and like 12 of his pictures back to back and not say anything. I'm going
Yeah.
to directly approach him and be like, "Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I like this.
It's
You're this," and then just get your answer right then and there, so you can stop wasting your time.
Yeah, it's on you, because here's the thing: like, if you leave that first date and you're so happy, like, oh, I can't wait for him to call me back, call me back, blah 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 blah. Yes, that's fine. But the thing is, like, did you lay that out? Then that way they don't have these expectations that you can't meet. Like, you're on your profile saying, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, or I just got out of a relationship, I don't know where I am right now. At this point, take some time for you. Don't be on the dating sites trying to just find yourself, because all you're gonna find is some dick. I'm guaranteeing you this. As somebody who, I'm the dick. Dick
Mm.
is me. Osby's dick. Like, that was me. And I tell, like, women, because I have a lot of women friends, like, my wife included. Like, I have a lot of women in my life that I
Mm.
hear their stories. And other than Shan, like, I've, like, close friends who tell me, like, yo, like, this dude did this, or this is what I've heard, or this is my messages that I've seen. I'm like, yo, like, at some point, like, there has to be one good guy. There has to be one. And I'm not gonna do the usual, the typical, well, like, are you just missing out on the right one? No, the right ones be lying to you too. So
Oh
I just
yeah.
need to know, like, are the women, because I'm not talking to men here, are the women going and, like, laying this shit out for the dudes? Because clearly men just don't have anything right about themselves. We clearly just talked about that earlier with Boosie, where
I'm
his expectations ain't meeting his efforts.
about you, but the thing is, you got to get to the point where you, as a woman, is at a point where you want to be direct and you want honesty, and then you have to
Yeah.
gamble on the fact that the person that you actually like is ready for honesty too. It's rare
Mm-hmm.
to find that the person you like is at the level of life of having honesty. Some of them are just really into painting a picture when you just want the truth, and you can keep telling them, "Hey, just tell me the truth." That's better than me having to find out, and they'll still lie to your face because they're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I'm just,
three.
uh,
You and I did a show, Shane, and you said something that resonated so much because all the listeners that were leaving comments, they agreed. They said if men were to approach the women with exactly what they wanted from jump and give the women the option of
oh
what they wanted to do, they would be so much better off. Like, fellas, I'm talking to y'all at this moment. Like, if you go and you say to a woman straight up, "Ayo, I'm not here for a relationship. I'm attracted to you, and I would rather just have a physical relationship with you." If you whatever can to conceive, to present it to her, I'm guaranteeing it will come out better, and you may actually end up being in a situation where she wants the same fucking thing.
yeah,
I've heard women on Twitter, on social media, and in real life say, if you would have told me all you wanted to do was fuck, that's
hmm,
all I wanted to do. But you led me on to, more. You told me that there was more to expect. Can you imagine going to fucking like Chick-fil-A or something like that, and you order a large fry and fucking, a grilled chicken sandwich, and you end up getting a fucking salad? Like, what? I want the goddamn
or
nuggets. I want.
or look this way, how those men think is, could you imagine going to Chick-fil-A with enough money just for a regular ass chicken sandwich, and they gave you a whole meal with a sundae on the side,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't say, "Oh no, I didn't order all of this, I only ordered this." No, men will take everything a woman gives them and then some,
Exactly.
even though they just wanted pussy, and they won't say shit about it. And then you got
Yeah.
to look at the whole time that you've been pouring in way more into the relationship, and he's not pouring in anything else because you gave him too much.
Exactly, fellas. Like, I'm I'm only talking to y'all, and I'm gonna only say this one more time. Like, sometimes you just might be the dick, and it's okay to be the dick. Sometimes the dick gets people to their relationships. Trust me. I'm okay. Okay. Rewind. I was going to step. Let me go ahead and give myself gunshots because I was talking. That was for an X. But yeah.
But you were
Basically,
on
what I'm
point.
saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
the,
yeah. Like
the
sometimes,
dick, but
sometimes
the no point is the connector.
yeah, like it's okay. Like I came to terms, with certain people. I was just there for a reason. But the thing is, I told them at the beginning what the fuck it was. I'm on the type of time where, like, you know what? Hey, like, if I'm just gonna be dick for you, let me just be dick. That way, when I'm going and doing the same thing I'm doing for you for somebody else, but I'm giving them a little bit more, you can't be mad because I
Yeah.
asked you what you wanted from jump. What you want from jump is what I give you. And I'm not one to lie to or tell you something that you want to hear. Like, I'm kind of fucking blunt. I've had people come to me like from my past. I'm like, yo, like, you're a father and a husband now, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was always this way. Like, anybody who go on my Facebook page, yo, there's still pictures up there when I was out clubbing and doing some whole shit. Like,
Yeah.
people who know me, like, I'm in DC, trust me. Like, just be like, hey, you heard of Greg? Yeah. You probably had my fucking Twitter name is still Al Sharptongue to this day. There's a reason for it.
Ah,
There's a reason for it. And I try to, like, I'm trying to convince people, like, just to honestly just be who you want to date. Like, don't be a piece of shit. Don't go and, tell that girl, hey, you're my sweetheart, you're my love, and I'm trying to be the man that you need, when all you can actually be as a man is the dick.
right.
And then y'all ain't even giving good dick at that. That's what's killing me. Because there are dudes out here promising these women the fucking world. And they're giving them bare minimum dick. You are giving 15 strokes in a pump, 2 pumps in the grind. Yo, these women are complaining to y'all. These women are on Twitter talking about how y'all ain't shit. Y'all on these dating sites, y'all ain't doing them right. And then when they do give y'all some pussy to smell, eat, y'all don't want to eat. Y'all don't want to eat the ass. Y'all don't want to eat pussy. You ain't sucking the toes. Y'all ain't stroking right. Y'all I hate you niggas. I absolutely fucking hate y'all.
Pointless.
Like,
So Your
Yo,
mom's
what,
swallow the food.
what is the worth? Yo,
Yeah.
y'all going and you're staying at the girl house because you live with your mom or you live with your girl, and you're like, oh, I got to go to your
With
house.
the
Y'all
girl,
going
you
on a price line
girl.
negotiate. Yo,
Yeah.
it is very weird. I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. I need everybody's expectations to meet their efforts. You can't go and be like Boosie talking about you're not fucking with Lori Harvey, and then you out here fucking the bottom of the barrel. You out here
Right.
fucking a girl from Orange is the New Black with no teeth and shit. Like that's the type of time you on. I,
Right.
it's disgusting to watch. It is absolutely disgusting to watch. I hope that the listeners, they aren't offended because some people on here are medium ugly. I'm medium ugly, but I talk my talk and I walk my walk. But there are certain people who will fucking lie to you. Like, let me go back to these messages because I have to go back to them. So another guy on his profile, he's 38 years old, Shane. He says on his profile, this is getting out of hand. Before you hit the thumbs up, if you are married, getting a divorce, have a BF or a baby father living with you, keep that shit away from me, please. I'm not here for no threesomes with you and your husband. You can't attract me with your pussy, so don't try. I'm a full-time father. I own my own and I take care of my own. I'm not sacrificing my kids for nobody. I'm about positive vibes and energy. If you think you're going to disturb or disrespect my peace, please X me. Yo, take your trauma elsewhere. You 38 years old. Yo, at some point, you got to know what the fuck you want from a person to the point where you don't have to explain that shit. And if you
Yeah.
do, it's because you're on a date with that person. You are literally on your profile to date people. Like somebody has to read that before they even say, you know what? I'm actually going to go out with this fucking weirdo. I'm going to
Right.
go for a drink. He sounds like a serial killer. I told my friend when she sent that message on what's the name on Instagram, I was like, he kills people. And if
Right.
he don't, he's the one that literally he's going to text her 58 times. Did you get home? Are you okay? Are you safe? I'm sure
Mhm.
you're okay. Why aren't you answering me? And it's fucking 15 minutes after she left out the bar. Like that's that type of weirdo shit.
Yeah.
So man, y'all have to start y'all have to change, man. I mean, I had to change. I still have some changing to do. But the way that
Mhm.
the women are talking about y'all, boy, oh my goodness. Like, whew. I'm surprised
And
they ain't yo,
there's
I'm about
nothing
to
that
go
we
on.
to help because you have to get out of your pride and your ego to be like, okay, yeah, I am the problem. This is the problem. Show me the way. Even if somebody was like, okay, I'm giving free classes on game, free classes on, courting a woman the right way, free classes on properly eating the pussy and not disrespecting her or her time. They wouldn't even come because they so stuck on, man, I don't need nobody to show me nothing. I got this.
Mm.
And I'm
That's
not
because
saying
people don't want to learn, man.
I'm saying women and men need a critique, but you have to be able to be like, okay, I will hear your feedback. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't hear no feedback.
No, not at all. And mind you, we're just talking about people in the 20s. Saying that was what you were presenting. You were presented people in the 20s. I want to hear from these people because I would like to think like a lot of these people that are on like stereo, they're like mid to late 20s and early 30s and stuff like that. I want to hear from them. Like, how do y'all date in y'all 20s? Like, are y'all like what are y'all using? I know about Bubble or Bum. What the fuck is that app called? Bubble Bumble.
I don't know. I don't
Fuck
use
that.
it.
Yeah. So I could not tell you. There's the Tinder swipe shit. There's I just found out that there's Facebook dating.
What?
Facebook dating. My grandma on Facebook. Now
No,
I
she's
don't know
not.
if I would like. No, she's not on Facebook dating, but she's on Facebook. So imagine if I'm on an app where I can, like, if that's your thing, do your thing. But you would think that these people who have these personalities, this is your Facebook page, and shout out to my friend. The things that I was reading were from the Facebook dating profiles. These are people's actual Facebook pages. You get to see them. They on the beaches, they in Tulum and shit like that. But they're talking about, hey, don't disrespect my peace. And I'm like, yo, this is an introduction. This is you.
Too
So I
much.
want to I want to hear from people. I want to hear from the E Roofs of the world. I want to hear from Stone. Who else is in here? Bragg 223, K Morales, Dex Troll, Player Pimp. Who else we got? Volpez 64. Mark Doyle, Jack Voyage. I want to how or how should you date in your 20s? How did you date in your 20s? Did you date in your 20s? Because maybe we're talking a little bit too much. I know I am. I want to hear from them because I'm not a teacher here. I'm not like Hitch. What's the dude's name? Will Smith in the Hitch movie. I'm not the one that knows it all. I want to hear from y'all. So please leave voicemails. Let us know because
they very
boy,
quiet. I don't know why they quiet because I'm
very
curious. My
very
assumption
quiet.
people in their 20s date today is through apps, through texting. They see each other face to face. Nothing is verbally said. Somebody touches something, the next person touches something, and then y'all just fuck and dismiss each other.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since nobody's left a voicemail yet, let me just give some advice to men who are dating in your 20s. And since nobody's answered yet, but they can still answer. How should you date in your 20s? Openly, but honest. You should definitely have expectations, but you should also have goals. You shouldn't just want to be a serial dater. You want to be with somebody who, even if it's for college or when you graduate, something like that, make those expectations known. In your 20s, transparency is key. And when it comes to who you want to date, just date across the board. Date black women, white women, avatars. I don't give a fuck who you want to date. Just date around, because the thing is, you're going to have your heart set in one way and it's not going to stay that way. Things are going to change, people are going to change, and people are going to grow. So in your 20s is when you actually do some of your best dating, and you actually get to know what you like. In my early 20s, I was like, yo, I want the girl with the big old onion booty. I want a big old round ass. I wanted that. That was my shit. And then I got that, and I wasn't prepared for that shit. Nobody prepares you for a big ass. I'm not going to go into a story because I was a hoe. So we're just going to talk about that on another show. But, in your 20s, I want people to, sit down with people, but don't go and ask them what their 5-year plan is. I've had somebody do that to me in my 20s. A girl was like, well, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How the fuck am I supposed to know? I don't know. Those type of questions will scare somebody off, because when somebody asks you what your 5 or 10-year plan is, I'm expecting that out of my LinkedIn profile, not from somebody I just met on a dating site. I'm trying to get to know you. You're trying to get to know me. And, here are my expectations. I live here. These are the things I like to do. And these are the things I watch. During a pandemic, right now is the time to fucking get to know people. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is it so hard for people to be themselves in the middle of a fucking pandemic? It's like, you are in the house, I'm in the house. Yeah, I'm not coming over there. You're not coming over here. So while we're not, let's get on the phone. Let's talk to each other. People do have voices. We can't go to a bar. I can send you something, from what is that fucking app? I can't think of the delivery alcohol app or whatever, but I can send you that, or I can send you lunch. There are so many ways to get to know somebody right now. So in your 20s, use this shit to your advantage. You get to know these people, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to end up dating somebody that's fucking crazy, or you're going to end up dating somebody who you're getting their representative. Women, you fall for this every time. Women will go and fall for that, that profile online. It's like, yo, he's so cool. He does all these things. It's like, yo, you realize them photos that he took going to the Great Wall of China? That was freshman year in college. Dude's 38. Dude is 38. Y'all gotta cut this shit out.
Age don't mean smartness or intelligence.
Yeah. Also, to lighten the mood a little bit, in your 20s, do your wildest fucking. I mean this shit, because trust me, in your 30s, when we get to that part of the show, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. But in your 20s, try some wild shit. Try some shit that honestly, it's going to prepare you for your 30s. There are men and women alike in their 30s talking about some shit they won't do, and they've been saying that shit since they were 20. Shout out to Stone. He and I, we've had a agreement on things, and there's not much that we won't do. It's because we've done that shit in our 20s. Can you imagine right now, there is some 35, 36-year-old who's talking still to this day about shit that they won't do, and they've been talking that shit since they were 23?
Holla. Your girl got merch. You already know where it's at. It's at www. There's 3 W's. Whoisshin.com. Okay. I got my books are on that website. That is my personal website. You got the feed for the show for So What Page We On Bid. She Gets a Podcast and Cozy One Podcast. And if you go on the shops page, you will see all the shops. You will see Loudmouth Shop. Okay. You will see Cozy Womb Shop. You will see Who Is Shan Shop. You will see um She Gets It Shop. And you will see Mama's Cozy Closet Shop. All right. So get some merch. All right. Because if it don't move, I move it. Cause I like to move it, move it. Okay. I'm not gonna have no merch just sit. If it ain't moving, it's telling me that y'all don't want it. And I want to continually create something that y'all want. So back to the show, but don't say I never told you so. Boost.
Wanted to do a part two or a continuation of the conversation that we had on Saturday because I feel like there was a lot of things that we left on the table and we have to discuss them. So hopefully you're ready for this. I'm not ready, and I like it that way. Saturday I was not ready, so hopefully things go well. I feel like we got a voicemail, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this one first so we can just start.
I'm so mad at y'all for having this goddamn talk right now. I'm still at work and I want to listen so bad. Damn it.
Yes, we have to have this discussion tonight. Shout out to E Ruth. She was a part of the show we did. That will be on all the streaming platforms as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, Shan being the lead of the show and the lady who honestly keeps me like under wraps so I don't go off on y'all or block y'all. She's going to formally introduce the show because I don't do that. So, Shan, this is on you.
Welcome to Loudmouth Stereo because we are loud and we got some shit to talk about. My name is Shan from She Gets a Podcast and Cozy One Podcast. That is Greg from Young Black and Bothered. This is Loudmouth Stereo on your stereo app, okay? We are the one of few still bringing you content. And tonight is a continuation show of the Saturday show on February 20th that went to shit because Stereo refuses to do a proper update of things that already do not work before they start adding on new shit. But here we are. So, just to recap, when we started last week's show, we were talking about what makes the way that you date acceptable. How should you date in your 20s? How should you date in your 30s a little bit? And then we talked about the differences and how men are cheered on in the dating world versus women. And I use Future and Lori Harvey as an example because everybody has something to say when Lori Harvey has moved on. Emotions shut down. No babies were made. No marriage was connected. Nobody signed on the dotted line and she moves on. She's in her 20s and she's dating. But yet everybody has something to say about the fact that, oh, she's for the streets. The fact that, oh, I want to wife her up. We talked about how Boosie ass shouldn't be saying anything. And it's just this sexist bias way of thinking where whenever Future hops on the next women, we're cheering him on. Future was with Sierra. Future has a kid with Sierra. Bow Wow was also with Sierra. Future was with Bow Wow's baby mother. He also has a child with Bow Wow's baby mother. And he moves on, and there's no trash dragging behind him. But let that be the women on reverse. It will be so much to say. It's kind of like this double standard that's around women when they date and they leave the drama and they don't have the baby and they can quietly move on that society hates. And that's what we were talking about, which brought us into, are you wifey or not? Because if the way that you date dictates if you can be wifed or not, then why the fuck are we doing anything?
Yeah. I'm with for me, I just want to start by saying this. This is dedicated to the men. If you don't know how much a ring cost, stop using the word wifey material or calling women wifeys and shit like that because that shit is expensive and it's more than just the ring. It's the engagement ring. It's the actual band. It's the insurance for the shit. And I really implore people to stop going to K Jewelers or Shaw's and getting the Valentine's Day special, the New Year's special, the Christmas special, the Mother's Day special. So when you see 42 people with the same ring on, Mother's Day and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and Valentine's Days and birthdays and shit like that, just know you didn't care. You just got a cookie cutter ring. Go get that ring designed. If that's not what she wants, go get her a ring that she wants, not some shit that you saw and it was like, hey, it was $3.99, and fuck with me, I got it. You don't. Um, for me, this conversation as a married man, that the topic being, are you wifey or nah? I hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it. For what Shan said, because it's always single men, and I used to be one that they have all these expectations of the women to be the wife, and they aren't even the girlfriends. They haven't been asked to be the girlfriends yet. It's like you just skipped so many levels trying to get to the big boss. The big boss you can't handle. And I mean, I've been in these rooms, had these conversations with dudes who are like, yo, like I couldn't wife her, man. She got bodies on her. But it's like, yo, but you be talking the nastiest shit. You are talking about how much you want to do to this girl, what you want to say to this girl. You talking about you want to eat her ass on the first date and shit like that. You putting the cart before the horse, buddy. And I want to hear from the women. This is not a conversation really that I can give the answers to. Clearly on Saturday when we had that talk about the the friend of mine who's in here now, who had all those guys kind of like vying for her attention and shit like that, none of them mentioned what they actually wanted out of a relationship. Just going back to that shit, I was like, yo, none of them actually said what they have to offer. So I want to flip it a little bit, Shane. When it comes to, are you wifey or not? A lot of the women that listen to our show, they usually know for a fact that they are wifey. I want to know, what do they want from a hubby? Or not a boo, not a bae, a hubby. What do y'all want from these dudes? Because I think asking that question's like more important, because the guys, we know we want the butt. We want some ass, we want some titties, we want you, like as a whole complete fucking package. But women think a little bit in depth about it. And I feel like that would make the voicemails better. I think people will actually chime in a little bit like more. And I just honestly, I want to hear from women tonight. The guys, feel free to chime in too, but y'all don't be really talking about a lot of shit. So, ladies, it's on y'all. I'm here for it. Y'all lucky I'm sober, by the way.
I'm drinking. While we're waiting for people to comment, I'm drinking spinach, black raspberries, blackberries, black raspberries, and shit, and so I'm ready for the shits in 2 ways.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord!
So what are y'all talking about? Because I'm not a dater. I don't date. I don't go on eateries and picnics with people I don't know because I watch too much First 48. So tell me how y'all are dating out here and how that's going. I still get peen that I did not ask for in my DMs, in my inboxes. I still get men that lose their way to their wives and develop the wonder. And I send them back. So that's as far as it goes for me. So what's going on in your life?
For me, personally, like I like looking at single people date. After the show Saturday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go into these rooms a little bit more on Clubhouse. I'm going to go and actually entertain this shit, because I needed to know if I was bugging, or if I felt like the old man in the room who's kind of like old and washed, and everybody else is just like young and out here, bopping and thotting. Because I was sitting there, I was like, yo, like, yeah. Because I was sitting there, I was like, yo, am I crazy? Like, I know it was hard for me to find somebody, and it was hard for me to date when I was out here dating. And as a guy, I feel like we kind of have like leverage, because we can pick who we want, and if they want us back, then that's just gonna be that, which is cool. And men always have this thing of women have the options of men because they have the pussy, and yes, that is true. But the issue is, like, women don't want to give the pussy to everybody. They're very selective, very selective. And
And I'm just trying to figure out where all these guys who have these expectations, but all the expectations are physical or sexual. And it's like, wait, if you're not fucking her, you really shouldn't have like a dog in a fight or a word to say. So I want to know from again the women, and the men like what is it? Like what do y'all want in 2021? Because nobody has answered that question for me yet. I need to know, what do y'all want? I don't know if we need to start playing matchmaker and just calling people out and say, what do you want?
Okay, this is what
I'm
I
going
feel
to
like.
be at
I
that
feel
point.
like if you ask men what do they want right now, they're going to say all the things that sound really great. But the reality is, once they see a woman that they actually want to talk to, all of that really great shit, that quality shit that matters, is deep under hella horny shit that they're just
Yeah.
blurting out, that they're just saying, that they're selling themselves in a very, I got money, I can take care of you, I can get you this, I can do this for you, I know such and such. Like that ego, that money driven thing is what they're spewing first. And then
Mm-hmm.
they turn around and have an issue when it doesn't work, and oh, she just wanted money. She only like men with a lot of money so she could spend it. She really don't care about me. Your approach was wrong.
Yes.
Your approach was,
Yes.
I'ma fund your life.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
wasn't,
Uh,
I saw you across the room. I think you're really beautiful. I just wanted to say that. I hope you have a great day. Wrap it up, B. Because if you wrap it up and you're really genuine about it, guess what? She gonna be like, so what's your name? She's going to engage.
mm-hmm.
But if you come to her and be like, hey, you looking
Yeah.
really
Well,
good.
it's
Saying I could buy you this, I could get you this, I know this, I got money, look at me, da 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 da. You're gonna get a look at me kind of woman.
yeah. And, I'll just bring it surface level. A lot of dudes confirmed to me on Saturday they have no fucking game at all. Um,
Well, here we are.
yeah, like reading some of those messages, I was like, there's no fucking way this is happening in real life. I'm living in like a vortex, and the shit that they're saying out of their mouth. And mind you, you have the opportunity to just like slow down, type it out, fact check it, proofread it. And y'all just like, nah, fuck that. You're gonna get this. I'm like, yo, I get it. Your IQ is like a 63, but you can lie. That's the thing with so like this online date and shit like that. You can lie, but men that I know and men that I've seen, they just lie about the shit that don't even need to be lied about. Just stop lying about that shit. Like, tell these women straight up, like, you know what? Don't tell them, oh, I'm gonna give you 45 minutes a day. Stop. Give them 14 minutes of thunder. I'm telling you, they if they don't like it, cool. But just say what the fuck it is. Don't be like 45 minutes. No, 14 minutes of thunder, baby.
What
Give her what you got. Give
thunder?
her what 14 minutes of thunder. Now, I found this out on a drunken night with one of my homeboys at the bar. I always got a bar story. So one of the white guys, he is going and he's telling us about 14 minutes of thunder. So I was trying to figure out what is the 14 minutes of thunder. So he says, well, I'm going to go and eat the pussy. And he says this to us, just everybody at the bar. He's like, oh, I'm definitely going to eat the pussy. She's going to get 10, 15 minutes of some good, good. And I was like, okay, great. That's cool. Cool. Do your thing. But I was like, what is this fucking 14 minutes of thunder? He was like, sex isn't enjoyable for me anymore without foreplay. And I was like, okay, now you're talking my language. Like, I like to hear
He
this
said
shit,
this.
right? But he said, this is a grown man, though. He's
This
like
is
35,
rare.
40 years. Yeah,
Okay.
like, yeah, he's saying, he's like, yo, like, I can't have sex with women without foreplay. He was like, that's why I'm playing for keeps. And when a man says that they're playing for keeps, they're not bullshitting. Like, any man who has ever said that,
That they're
they are
tired.
ready.
They're tired.
Yeah, they they don't want to fuck around no more. He said, I'm playing for keeps. But he's like, I'm not out here telling these women what I want. I'm telling them what I can give them. And I was like, oh, okay, so now he's talking. And but mind you, he's talking because he hears women that are in like the same earshot as us.
Okay,
So
that's where he
he's
lost me. I hate a man that comes to me and talk about what he could get me.
well,
Sir,
here's the
do I
thing.
look like feed the
Here's,
needy?
but that's the thing. He's having a conversation because the women that were at the bar started the conversation first. So they started the dialogue, and he was the actual mature party who came and encountered with like tangible like information. and it wasn't like bravado for him. That's why I have nothing but respect for him. So shout out to Tony. Shout out to Tony. He I know he still goes to the bar on 8th Street because that was our jam.
It's always
but
a motherfucking Tony that want to get right.
Yeah, but Tony said, she's gonna get the 14 minutes of thunder, and I was like, boom, like, okay, tell me what the 14 minutes of thunder is. So I already told you about the 10 to 15 minutes of foreplay. He was like, they can exchange oral stuff like that, but he says he's gonna get to her to the point where she wants that bad. And then he said the 14 minutes of thunder, it's 7 rotation and 7 penetration. And I said, okay, explain the fucking shit up. What is this? What is 7 rotation and 7 penetration? Rotation means that he's going to alternate between sticking it in, sticking it out, and licking it. And he says penetration is where he's going full force to make sure she reaches her peak. And I said, okay,
I'm gonna pick these kids up and I'm gonna bring them back.
Yo. So, ladies, I'm gonna just tell you this. I don't know how this works because I lay with my wife, but any guy who says they're gonna give you 14 minutes of thunder, Thor ain't giving people 14 minutes of thunder. So I would suggest you actually take heed to whatever any guy says when they say 14 minutes. He was specific, not Pacific like black people say. He was specific with an S. I was like, yo, 14 minutes. He was like, yeah, I'm not in here playing for. I'm like, okay, if that's your thing, bro. And you know what he said to the girl? He was like, yo, like, I don't know where the concept is that you have to have sex for 45 minutes or an hour. He was like, if she's gonna come 3 times, I'm done. I was like, okay, so he's not talking to us at the bar. He's talking to that girl who challenged him. And at that point, I was like, oh, he's gonna get the draws tonight. But that's not what we're here for. That is not what we're here for. I want to hear from y'all, because who is in our stereo talk right now who has the 14 minutes of thunder? Who is in who is in our voicemails right now as a lady who needs the 10 to 15 minutes of foreplay? Like, when it comes to relationships, do you feel like foreplay could be the talking phase? You get to know that person. Do you get to engage with that person to get to know them before you say, you know what, I'm going to give myself to you. I'm going to, have sex with you. I'm going to, fuck with you in that manner. Because isn't dating kind of like a foreplay in a sense? So I just want to hear from other people. And I hope that my friend Alyssa, like, she's in here to let us know about the adventures of her online dating profile. Because boy, will I tell you, I will read those voicemails again. I will definitely read them. So, Cheyenne, I think
dating is courting and collecting data.
Yes. So please go ahead and hit that button, Cheyenne, because we got voicemails and I'm ready.
Also,
I'm ready today.
Good evening. She gets it hard. And hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Yo.
This is gonna be lit, y'all. It's about to be lit, y'all. It's about to be lit.
I hope y'all brought y'all drinks.
Facts.
Right. What do y'all want from us? Like, what is it? Because I don't have the answer, Sway.
It's not a y'all.
He's going back.
It's a whoever you interested in. What I want from a man is definitely not what most women want from a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not explaining what I want to a man I don't really want, because I'm about saving my time and my energy.
Now remember, Chang, I need you to take a note of that and like put a pin in that, because we got to come back to that. Like, because some guy, I can guarantee you, they're going to ask the question of, why are you entertaining me if you know that that's not what you want? That is going to be a question, because to eat. I'm telling you, it's always a question. Like, I've heard women have conversations with men saying that, for a man that I'm interested in, and they don't take the hint. So, with that being said, I'll let you play the next voicemail.
I think that, like, what I look for as a woman in her 30s that's dating, when I think about, like, somebody that's wifey material for me, I think number one, you have to have some kind of financial independence. I've dated broke guys. This shit's not for me. So you need to either have a job or some kind of, source of income, preferably one with a W-2. I think I need somebody that has similar views as me. I'm pretty progressive, I'm pretty liberal, and I'm pretty vocal about my views. And so we need to have similar views, or it's just going to be kind of battlefield, family values, just views on life. I also want somebody that has the same feelings for me that I have for them. Like, I don't like sweating somebody more than they sweat me, or vice versa. You need to be honest. Like, please just tell me the truth, even if it's ugly. And we need to be...
Oh, she's going off. She's going off. I like that. I like that. Clap it up for her.
Come through.
Damn, 1 minute is not enough time to, like, keep talking. Also, I need communication. Like, just communication about things. I don't need to talk to you all day. That shit is for the birds. Like, please don't text me all day. I don't have time for that. But, like, keep me in the loop. I want to know what's going on with you. How are you feeling? And then I'm emotionally all over the place, so I like to date somebody that's emotionally constant or more emotionally constant than me, but also emotionally empathetic. So emotional intelligence is important to me. You'll notice that nothing I said has anything to do with how you look, how tall you are, because that shit doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that shit does not matter, because that shit is not going to keep you satisfied in the long run. And chemistry. My last is, of course, chemistry. We have to be able to have fun together physically, but the other things are more important.
I'm with it.
I want to say, fellas, do you hear that description? That was something where someone sat down and thought, what is it that I want? What is it that I deserve? And did a Venn diagram and say, you know what? This is the outcome. I want to hear that from men. I want to hear a man counter that.
Stay quiet tonight.
I have yet to hear a man say, you know what? Even if you lie and say, I want the same thing that she wants, then you got to answer for it. You got to actually be a part of that shit. When she says she wants somebody who obviously, like, you know, has tangibles, like, do you have them tangibles? Can you, as a man, can you say that you have that? Whatever she just said, I need you to answer yourself that question. Because I'm sure if she's looking for that, there are at least 4 billion women in the world that are thinking the exact same fucking thing. That's what they want, because it's so surface level. So I want to hear from a dude. Don't make me call y'all out. I know y'all in here. Zay Israel, I see you. Slay 86, Wag to Go, Koala Vacations, Hugh Prick, who else? Zay Israel. I'm expecting a voicemail from him. He's been in here a couple times, so shout out to him. Who else we got in here that's been leaving voice notes and things of that nature? Alexander 9, Jack, Brother William. Yes, I need to know. Like, I need y'all to speak on up. Don't have me in here in the room by myself answering to the ladies. Not tonight. And I'm sober. Come on now. Help me out.
I'm going to play this one and then we can continue.
So, I thought it'd be quite funny to let you guys know I decorate vaginas for a job in Essex. So, I'm from Essex, so probably why I sound a bit different. But, like, I don't know if you know what Essex is, because, you know, American people with, like, geography ain't maybe the best. But, like, I'm from Essex and I decorate vaginas. So, I put, like, rhinestones on them, I put Swarovski crystals, everything like that. It's like a hidden talent, I tell you, because it's so popular. I've had a couple celebrity clients. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Decorating vaginas.
Okay, now, I'm sorry. Did he say something about putting stones in a vagina?
Rhinestones on vaginas. He decorates them like how women get their nails done. They get that punani done.
See?
Is your top down or no? Okay.
Holy hell. I'm asking people for their expectations and what they have to offer. You say, you know what? Put stones on pussy.
Listen.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least you're giving her something hard that will stay hard. Okay.
She got that 24K. Every time I pop her daddy bling bling. Hey.
How have we gotten here? How did we get here? Holy moly.
Listen,
what will they think of next?
You know what? Whatever somebody wants from you, just tell them honestly if you're up for the job or not. Because a lot of people like to say, oh, I could do that, or that's no problem, or I do that, or that's normal for me, not normal for them. They only trying to get in where they could fit in, squeeze something, and be on their way out. So just be honest. If you're not with everything that everybody's requiring, just say, oh, girl, you too much for me. It was nice meeting you, though. And move the fuck on.
Yeah. Yeah. That, or fellas, like, to counter what Shan just said, just say you want some blood. Like, it is okay. I'm telling you, according to the ladies, unless they're lying, I have heard multiple times women on stereo and in other apps say, if a man just comes to them straight and says, you know what, I'm attracted to you, but I'm not interested in a relationship. I just want the physical. Give them the option. I know it sounds selfish, like, only the women have, the voice and the choice, but it's the truth. Like, they hold all the power, they wield all the power, but at least give them the option. That way, if they start to say, hey, I want a relationship, and then they throw all the tangibles at you after the fact, you can say, you know what, per your last email, this is what you told me you wanted. You wanted the meat. So I'm giving you the meat. Fellas, I'm telling you, protect yourself. Because if you don't, you end up situationship. And I just discovered what the fuck a situationship was because I listened to R&B albums all day at work. And yeah, that shit don't sound fun. Chris Brown put out a 45-track album about love and heartbreak. We go. You know what? Next voicemail.
First of
I'm
all,
gonna just look.
not about to do is talk about how you just found out what a situationship was.
No, because my thing was a situationship was always called friends with benefits. That was what it was always called for me. Now, mind you, like I've been out of the game for a couple of years, which is fine. But a situationship just sounds too close to relationship. So why would you even want to have a word that's like the remix on relationship? If that's not what you want, why in the fuck are you making it a situationship? Just say y'all friends with benefits. The benefit is the meat and the meat cleaver, if you want to call it that. The hot pocket. Like that's what I'm here for. You know what I'm here for. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here. I came here with the meat. I am the Arby's for you. Like we have the meats. And do you want it? That's all I'm here for. But if yeah, if you give the woman the option to say, you know what, hey, like this is what I want, or if you say, you know what, this is all I want from you is sex, then they can't go against that later. They can stop and say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And you can say, cool, well, that's fine. We ain't gotta do this no more. But I don't think like right now, from what I'm seeing from these men, I don't see them going and just being proactive and kind of like, oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Like, I don't see men doing damage control in advance. I see a lot of dudes that are breaking women's
No,
hearts
men
because,
damage
like, yo,
control after they fuck up.
yeah, but you can't do that, fellas. I'm telling you, like, it's going to happen to you. There's gonna be that one woman who you're like, you know what? She just gonna be some ass, and she gonna put that shit on you. She's going to do it, and then you're gonna be sitting there like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang, laying in the bed with the covers holding over under your chin and shit. You don't want that.
Funny
You
men,
don't
they are
want that.
thinking that they stronger than the pussy. And I
Yo,
talked about this the other night, where the
mm-mm,
pussy is a very strange place, and she travels.
mm-hmm,
She's like a suitcase with many compartments, and
right.
there's always a pocket you haven't tapped into, and sometimes that pocket will swallow you.
Yep. We all have a guy friend. When I say a guy friend, because I'm only making it exclusive to guys, we all have a guy friend who talked about the girl that they were talking to at the moment and talking as if like she was nothing, like she was just somebody he was fucking on for a moment. And then what happens is she moves on, and he is heartbroken. Trust me, I've seen it. I've been that guy. I remember when I was a hoe. Like, here it's story time. So once upon a time when I was a hoe, I used to be like, you know what, nah, like, you know what, I'm gonna just do my thing, you do your thing, and we cool. And then homegirl said, well, I'm going on a date tonight. A date? You gonna call me after the date? Well, I don't know. I'll let you know how it goes. Man,
Honest.
I was sitting there, man. I had Drake on in my headphones. I was like, oh, this is not gonna work. What you mean you going on a date and then you ain't gonna hit me up after at 2 a.m. when you in the urge for the splurge? Like, what is going on? Like, so needless to say, she got married to that guy. And I was like, damn, that was some fucked up stuff. I'm not gonna say too much more about it, but it was really fucked up because I was like, yo, like if I would have taken that a little bit more seriously, you never know. I'm glad I didn't because I mean, look at life. Life is good, but there are certain men who will go and kind of like block their own blessings because they just want that one night stand or 2 night stand or 6 week stand. If you that type of guy. Um, but notice I still haven't gotten my voicemails from none of these men, so I get to shout a child out again. Him vs me, Mall's World. Who else we got? Kendrick Drip, J Train, Zay Israel again. has not left a voicemail saying what they want from women. I'm really confused here. I want to hear from the ladies now too. So Raina 1, I know you've been in here. Jules Angel 82, Super Firstborn, Gloria D, She the Chef. Now, if She the Chef don't leave a voicemail, then She Gets It Pod is going to be upset. And I'm speaking for Shan. So I need y'all to actually leave these voicemails. Look at people being great. Look, some people listen to me. I know they love me. I know they love me.
I want to play him.
Well, goddamn. You just put that spotlight on me. But yeah, bruh. Right now, I can't really comment on that because where I'm at right now, I just want to be alone. I'm not even looking for anything. I'm reevaluating my wants. So I'm just going through a breakup. So that has a lot to do with it. Like I'm just chilling. You feel me? I'm really sitting down figuring out what I want. I'm not trying to run around. I'm not trying to, you feel me, get dots and holes. Like I'm really not even into it right now. You feel me? I'm trying to figure my shit out.
You see that is an honest answer. That is a man answer. I appreciate that. If y'all need to clap it up for him, I need y'all to go ahead and use that emoji right now and clap it up for him because that was profound. I was not expecting that from the first man who left a voicemail tonight. I was expecting a troll or somebody. Actually, no, this was the second guy because the first guy said he puts rhinestones in your pussy. So shout out. I love this. We're going somewhere now. Cooking with grease. I need that next voicemail though. Who else left us something special?
Let's see here. Who we got?
Hey, hold on. I just got in. I'm trying to warm it up. I'll be right with you in just a second.
That's what he said. I said you better speed on it.
See. Mm-mm-mm. See, I was trying to be nice.
Greg, you are a body boy. Stop chat fuckery in a people ears you that man make you know. I pay fuckery attack. Stop chat foolishness and go find someone. Bomba
You
club.
start talk like you in this room. I don't know that shit. Like what the fuck? Like, look, man, that's no disrespect, but like you
all
gotta start
Greg
talking
did
this
was
shit.
ask the question.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
But he Jamaican. Jamaican men don't count. They don't know what they want. They just want more women.
I know one thing. Don't get your ass blocked not talking in language that I can't understand, man. Like, don't do that shit. What the fuck? I don't even know what is a baddie boy? Please explain that shit to me.
A body boy.
A body, whatever the fuck that is.
Don't be calling me no shit. It's a flamboyant man.
I'm a flamboyant man.
Yes.
Okay, what is his name? Because I'm about to follow this guy. Who in the fuck is this dude? Disrespectful. Just he need to be popped in the mouth.
Where is he?
Look at him. Left a voicemail and ran like a little hoe. Bati boy. Well, call me Batman then, motherfucker.
Erotic. The goat. I see him. But yeah. What else? What else he got? Because these men ain't talking, so we're moving
exactly. on. He did everything but answer the question.
Okay, so I don't know. I think it's best to know what you like before you go asking somebody to show up in it. And when it comes to dating and possibly marrying somebody later on, you telling me what you want in a wife when I first meet you, I'm not trying to hear that shit because I don't even know if you're worth me sticking around to give you wife like Punani. There's a difference between I might see you next week, Punani. Possibility we might date for a few months, Punani, and wife Punani.
Exactly.
And who says you deserve wife Punani on our initial meet? You don't. Okay. Just get to know people first. And, there's some people that's like, you know what, I'm giving grade A this every time. Well, you're wasting your energy. I'm into conserving my energy. Do we keep lights on in the house when it's daytime? No, we do not. So if they're not what they're supposed to be, why are you giving them that energy? If they're not who they're supposed to be to you, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Why are you putting in the effort? Is it practice make
Exactly.
perfect? It must be practice make perfect.
Exactly.
Like, I'm confused. What are we doing?
Mm-mm-mm.
What are we doing here? So we got 2 more voicemails. I'm gonna check them out, and then we're gonna move
Let's
on
see what they got to say.
to the next topic.
A Batty Boy is a homosexual male. So he thinks that what you're talking about is real feminine information. So this is Super Firstborn. All I want is let me be the judge of whether your information is honest. I want a honest individual. I'm grown enough to take the information and let me judge if I want to be with you or not.
Right there. Right there.
That is a fact.
But that's the thing. That what isn't that something that everybody wants? Though you want to be able to have that open communication. Like
Not
you
everybody.
want to have that.
Not everybody's ready to be honest. You gotta get somebody that's where you at.
That's sad. That is truly sad.
Yeah. A lot of people go for people on a level of living that they're not even at yet.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's why I be hitting on my friends' daddies, because they already know what they want.
See, you better cut it out. Cut it out. It's time to go to church. Bible says.
Nah, it's not a. It's listen. If I'm approaching you, I'm approaching you for reasons. I'm not in it. I'm 40 years old and I'm not in it to play games. So if I approach you, I see something in you that I like, that I probably value. So yeah, I'm probably coming at you like, look, yeah, you might be wifey material. Especially if I take you out. If I'm feeding you, I like you. Everybody else who don't get fed, they see the bed. It's as simple as
Oh,
that.
oh my. Oh, that's spicy. That's spicy right there. That is spicy. He said, "If you don't get, hey, you know what? That's gonna be my next clubhouse room." Yes, let me go write that down. Oh, if you're not getting fed, you better be in the bed. That's my type of energy right there. I like that. Talk your shit, sir. Talk your shit. Oh boy, that was good.
All right, so here's my thing. Women always have what they want. We always have to meet a standard according to what a woman expects a man to be. 90% of the time, males, we good with, whatever we can get. I'm not saying that that's for everybody. There are those men that do have standards too. But we always have to compete with a standard that has been set by another man whenever you try to get in a relationship with any woman.
Yeah.
It ain't fair to basically say that, hey, we got to tell you, we got to come on here and say, this is what a man wants, or this is, because at the end of the day, culturally, we always have to try to please the woman.
Okay, this is the thing, and he's right. Every woman has to deal with the pros and cons of the last bitch that left the man that she wants. Every man has to deal with the pros and cons of the last man that left the woman that you want, because you have to teach people how to care about you. You have to teach people how to treat you. They're going to have to unlearn some shit that don't work for you if they want to stick around, and that's how it goes. Now, whether or not you have the willpower and the stamina and the respect to want to unlearn some habits that you shouldn't have, to want to learn something new that you probably never done in order to receive a different type of relationship, that's on you. A lot of people assume the ways in which they carry themselves, their attitudes, and the limits in their growth is what the person next has to accept if they care about them. No, the real people that care about you and can point out where you can grow and you can be better will tell you, hey, you can improve on this. It is possible. Now, whether or not you give a fuck is whether or not you put the effort in to change it. A lot of people don't care to change their ways, and that's why shit don't work.
Yep. That right there.
So,
That makes you think, man. Like, dang, like, are people willing to change? Like, or is
some
it
people
one of those
are.
things where they'll change, but for the right person? Like, it has to be the right person.
Yeah, some people.
I like that. Now, yes, you see what happens when people leave voicemails and they tell us how they feel and what they're thinking, other than the Batman dude. Like, yeah, let's talk that shit. I'm with this. It's my type of carrying on.
Hold on. I'm confused because we want to be honest. It sounds like a male with a female avatar. Am I confused?
Oh. I don't know about that. I'm.
Ooh.
Y'all ain't getting me shot today. Nope.
Wait a minute.
Nope. Y'all ain't getting me shot.
Another one is I don't have a problem with men that have good relationships with their mother. I'm also raising a male child myself, but I have a problem when your mother knows more information that I want her to know about me. Stop sucking on your mother's tit. Who are you sleeping with? You sleeping with me or your mama? That's all. I mean, I just certain house information. I just don't think mothers need to know, because I don't like mothers looking at me sideways. That needs to be established.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be established. There are a lot of people. Honestly, I'll be completely transparent. I felt as though I was giving my mother a little bit too much information. When we first started dating, it was like, okay, like, do I need to share this? But it was like, okay, that's my mom. Like, it's one of those things where you felt like you have to give her information. And then she tried to use one scenario against me as a result of me telling her about it. And I was like, yo, like, that's not good. And this wasn't with my wife. This is like previous relationships. We talked about in previous episodes about the girl with the $40,000 in debt and stuff like that and all that shit. So when I would go and tell her these things and I would relay this message to her, she had this preconceived notion that was like my type, and that was some shit that I was just into. So I had to be like, no, like, less is more, especially when it comes to parents. But to counter what he's saying, I do agree. I definitely agree. But someone is going to leave a voicemail, and I know who it's going to be. They're going to say there are a lot of daughters that expect their fathers, and that's coming. I know it's coming. It's a voicemail that somebody's probably pinning and getting ready to send. So I'm gonna just let y'all know right now.
And that's the reality. I'm glad you said that, Greg, because women's fathers, from when they were little, raised them to find their fathers in a man or better. And the reality is, when you have generations upon generations who did not have a father figure in their life, who did not have a father in the household, who did not have a relationship with their father, when she gets to the point where she's going to date, she's not going to find a man like her father that treats her well, that has manners, has goals, that sees her as a quote unquote prize, because we have a lot of men for the past 2 weeks talking about they're the prize. And some men are now realizing that they have daughters in their 20s and their 30s, and they kind of failed them, not because they raised them to want a good man, because they raised them to want a man that is not here.
Bingo. That you hit the nail on the head. I have nothing like that. I agree. That I definitely agree.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play this, but that's the truth.
My only issue is, okay, so yes, to answering my question or my statement, my voicemail that I left previously, I agree with what you guys just said, but at the same time, I mean, I gotta put this lightly, so as a man, yes, we have to obviously be willing, or I'm speaking because I'm a man, so, and I'm currently in a relationship, so I'm not looking for any relationships, so I'm satisfied with my marriage and everything. But just to put my personal thing out there, being married, there's an expectation that as a male, I need to exchange to adapt to a female rather than having the female, meet me halfway. Relationships are supposed to go both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
I'll expound on that. Like, I absolutely agree with what he said. The way I used to live life and the way I used to do things and carry myself, I can't do that because I'm somebody's husband. I'm someone's husband. And I'm sure it's the same way for her, but it's for me, just only speaking in my experience, it's a little bit more profound because, boys and, young men, men that are in their 20s, they're always taught like, you do this thing, but not everything is created equal. Like women can't do things that you can do. Little girls can't do what little boys do and stuff like that. So you kind of like raised that way, you condition that way. But then when you're with someone of the opposite sex, when you have your wife, your spouse, and things like that, you start to realize like they might be a little bit smarter than me. They're better at this adult thing than I am. And it's hard to actually admit that until you're married. Like I didn't realize like half the shit I was doing, I was skating by until I, got with my wife and got married. Cause like, like she was more prepared for this than I was. So it's like what was I doing wrong? Was I not was I not raised properly? Because I'm like, I was raised by my mom. She did well. I was raised by my dad, when he wanted to be around. Did he do enough? Like, what is it about, women that, when we get into the relationships and the marriages and things like that, like, and I guess you'll know this, like, if you're married, like he said, you'll start to notice your experience as a man completely changes. You start doing things that you didn't think you could do. Like me, I was raised to cook. Like, from the point I was like 9 until now, I can cook. I do know this. But once I got into the relationship and I got married, I'm like, I'm cooking like 3, 4 days a week now. I'm doing things that more, people would think that's like a general reverse. Like, well, your wife takes care of the kids, so you should eat and things like that. I'm like, I didn't even know this was possible for me to do it. And a lot of men that are single, they don't realize they have the same capabilities. It just doesn't happen until they actually find somebody that they're serious with or until they get married. It just sucks that that's the truth and that's the way it's been. But I know for a fact from personal experience, it was like that for me, for sure.
Another thing, I'm really for women who are raising boys, to raise boys to do everything also. Cook,
Yeah.
wash, properly clean a bathroom, know where their important documents are without their mothers, you know, how to present themselves, not just in looks, how to pronunciate, in different rooms with different people, all of that. And sometimes you're gonna have to grab a mentor, a male mentor, because you can't be a man. But don't just assume they're going to find a woman that's going to do it for them, because nobody will ever love your son as much as you will. I don't care who their wife is, how well their marriage is, they're just not going to, because you love your son for a different reason than a woman who's marrying your son. So raise them in a different way. For me, I have daughters, I don't have sons. I'm raising my daughter to be able to do things in the house and things when they're not in the house that may be seen as quote unquote more manly, not because they need to do it all, but just in case they have to do it, they could do it.
Yeah.
So,
I was taught the same way. Like, my mom would teach me, like, not, I don't want to say the girl things, but like, the things that's like, you should be able to do this for yourself. Like, I'm not here to wash your clothes. You go learn that. Like, the same time it would take me to teach you, you can learn it on your own. Or I can teach you how to do it and you can do it from now on going forward. And that's how I learned. So washing dishes, taking out the trash, things like that. So, as an adult, I actually get really pissed off when I go to people's houses and, like, say for example, I go to like a kickback or a house party or something like that, and men walk past the trash can and that shit's full. And I'm like, nobody's just gonna take this fucking trash out. And it's like grown ass men that I'm like, I don't want to say I'm checking them, but it's like, like, these are things that are established in your home by your mom. Like, you know, for a fact, when you go to your mom's house or your parents' house, there's certain rules and expectations you have even as an adult. I know when I go over there, it's like, yo, take your fucking shoes off. You know, you in my house, or don't go into my fridge and start, just taking shit. Like, I've known this forever, but grown men now, when they get into these relationships, like, they don't take the same things they learn from their parents and apply that to their relationships. I think that's why I wanted to, have this part too, because I'm like, after reading what Alyssa had in these voicemails and on Instagram and in the dating sites and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, what happened? Where's the disconnect where men just don't do for women anymore? They don't want to provide. They just want to reap the benefits and just let that shit be that. So, to answer the question, like, are you wifey and all? Like, we got to circle back around. Men are y'all a husband? Damn, that's a really fucked up word. Are y'all capable of having a wife or not? Are can you have a wifey or not?
Yeah, a lot
Because
of
that
them don't.
boy,
A lot of them,
yo,
what they require from women, they don't even do themselves. Like, they wouldn't even last on the requirement list. And it works both ways. I think is
mm-hmm,
women have taken advantage of men enough times for men to be like, fuck it. I'm not
mm-hmm,
giving the woman all of this. I'm not doing the most for the next woman. But really all
yeah,
that does is messes up the possibilities of you with a good woman the next
facts,
time. And the same thing with
facts,
women. Women, they pour all their efforts into the wrong man. They see all the red flags. They ignore them. And then when that relationship
mm-hmm,
goes to shit, they're bitter, but they want somebody, but they're limited. They have like a great wall of China around them while they're trying to date. And you're not going to be successful like that. A man is not going to keep begging you to tell them what's wrong. A man is not going to
mm-hmm,
keep asking you multiple times, what do you want? How can they help? And you tell them, you're fine when you're really not fine. Like, you have to
mm-hmm,
pick, are you ready? And if you are, congrats. Leave all that old shit where it was at and come out here
exactly,
with different outlook. And if you're not ready, that's fine too. You could be single and you could date yourself. Because once you feel like,
exactly,
okay, I've been dating myself for a few years now. I understand what I need and I understand what I want. And I've seen my faults for the last 2 years and why that got on my old ex's nerves. I'm ready.
mm-hmm,
You're going to be able to explain to the next man, hey, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm just in a shitty
mm-hmm,
mood. This is what's going to help me get out of my shitty mood. Is there anything else you need from me today? Because my phone is going to be off because I'm just irritated and I don't want to bother you because I'm irritated.
mm-hmm.
Like, that's honest as fuck. But a lot of people
Yep,
can't say that, and then they push all their shit onto you and you think you did something wrong, and you have
yep,
this man that's doing everything right and he's fucking confused.
mm-hmm, yeah. Like, my little rule was like, don't come to me broken. Like, like, do
Mm,
the work for yourself before you get with me.
yes.
um and this was years ago. Like, I've always just one of those people where I did therapy as a kid, and they use that word a lot, and I think people kind of take it the wrong way when you say like broken, because you're not broken, but you know exactly what it means. Like, yo, like, fix what you can before you come here. Like, you wouldn't go and leave the fucking faucet on all day, go to work, and then come back and be like, oh well, why is there no water? Because you didn't fix it before you left. Like, some things you just know that you need to do, and you have to do it. You can't go into a new relationship with your old relationship's problems.
Yeah.
So, when I would be with people, or I would be seeing someone, and you you get those early like and those inclinations of, yo, like, you're not over that, or yo, like, you're still hard that I was nowhere near. So I tell people like straight, like, yo, don't deal with shit that you don't have. So if you're with somebody and they're talking about shit that you don't even deal with, like, it's like somebody saying to me, well, I hate light skinned men. Like, what the fuck you telling me for? Like, what? I can't help you with. So my rule is just people themselves and stop assist when you do that. You honestly become part of right because there are therapists for that. There are people who can help that. You trying to enter yourself hoping that it's going to make you come out to be a better, which men do. We try to fix problems. Just say, you know what, nah, you go ahead and handle that. I'll catch you when you're ready. So that's just a personal thing.
Acts.
Oh, I disagree when it comes to women, fathers raising daughters. I have 2 daughters. We don't typically raise our. Let me not say typically. You don't raise your child to look for a man that resembles or has familiarity to their fathers. That is naturally what they look for because that's the prime example that they see in their father is what they want in a man. Because if you're a good father, that's what they're gonna look for. If they see how you treat their mom, they see what you do with your family, and that's what leads to them wanting, basically sets up what their expectation of a man in a family setting should be like. But that's just my 2 cents.
And your 2 cents are very
Okay.
valid, but your 2 cents come out to be the same dollar. And the same dollar in this point is you're being an example of a great man, a great father, a great guy, a great provider. And yes, your daughters are going to look to see a man for themselves that resembles those characteristics, which is going to tell them by common sense over the years, because you've been so consistent, that that is the type of man I'm supposed to have. Now, the outcome is they're going to search for that with today's
Mm-hmm.
males who did not have a father that was like you. And they're going to have a hard time
Mm-hmm.
finding that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but they're going to have a harder time finding that when we know fathers are not around like they are in a few households, and depending on the demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And we know fathers are not that consistent as they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but they are improving. I'm not going to knock the fathers that are, but my daughters are going to look for the men that they see me entertain. That's why I don't entertain any right now. They're going to look for the men that remind them of their fathers, whether they're great at it or whether they're shitty at being fathers. That's what they're going to look for, because they're going to think that's what they're supposed to have. So that's why it's always important for me to step out of the way and let their fathers and them have a relationship, because there are things that only their fathers can correct to show them, like, this is what this is. I can tell them that all
Mm-hmm.
day. They're not going to listen to me. So kids are going to go towards or go against who their parents are when they become adults.
Okay. So let me first step. We
Your
talked
phone is
about,
breaking.
the daughters.
You hear me?
Okay, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I keep going in and out.
When women are trying to look for men that are like their father, I feel like they need to start looking for men that are outside of their type. So they keep running into the same men that are probably not up to their expectations, but they're not willing to go outside of their type, which is why they can't meet their original expectations, whether it's their type of race, their type of like guy that's like a big shot job and he has a big ego. Like they just can't get outside of their type, which is why they can't get a man that reaches their standards. They end up
Mm-hmm.
getting the same man over and over and over again, but they only go after the same man, essentially.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is, have your expectations meet your efforts. There are a lot of people who have these lofty expectations of what they want from somebody, and they have this laundry list, but then they don't even equal the same things that they want. And we see it all the time. That's why you have people who they harp on astrology all the time because they don't have anything else to talk about. And that's not a knock on people who are really into astrology, but there are certain people who are like, well, I can't date a Cancer or I can't date a Scorpio. And it's like, why? And they're like, well, because I dated 6 before. It's like, So are you saying you like Scorpios? They just don't work for you. So one, what is it? What is it about you that needs to change? And nobody ever has that answer. Like no matter how many times I've asked people, like, yo, like you keep getting the same result, but what are you changing? And nobody gives that answer. So to like piggyback from what she's saying, like yeah, there are women that do need to do that, and there are men that need to do it as well. But what are you going to change first? Like your expectations, what are they, and are you going to actually meet those? Because if a guy says, you know what, I want a woman that does this, like he better do the same fucking thing. I've heard men say, oh, I'm not fucking with the woman unless she can cook and clean and wash dishes. I'm like, yo, like you don't even know how to load a dishwasher. So explain.
Mm.
Explain it to me. Make it math. Make it math. So shout out to her for that voicemail though.
My 7-year-old just told me last night that she don't know why I packed the dishwasher with stuff all over the place, and I'm just like, you get out my face.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she can wash them dishes. She can wash them. Man.
No, I tried to allow her to wash my dishes, and she left food on them, and so that's a wrap.
Oh yeah, see, and that'll break a dishwasher. That's $1,200 right there. Like I don't even have a house yet, and I already know how much it's gonna cost to replace shit like that. So for me, I'm of the magnitude like now, especially after reading Alyssa's like messages and stuff. Like y'all got to start meeting up with people and saying like, hey, I do this, and I'm cool with that. If you don't know how to load a dishwasher, be cool with that shit. Someone can teach you, but you have to be receptive and be willing to learn that shit. But some people don't want to. Some people like, no, I got other people to do that.
Mm.
Oh, and this is for the young man who thinks that I am male. I'm so far female. I was born female. Taurus women have commanding voices. Not everybody's going to sound like Michelle A.
That's funny. That is so funny. That is funny because I was just listening to that song. I ain't gonna sing it, but you know what I'm talking about. That's something in my heart.
Because I'll come find you.
Hey, no, I'm sober tonight. I ain't singing. Nobody.
Men are expecting wifey material, but they are not the partners that they expect their partner to be. Like they have all these expectations that they want their women to be, but they can't even match up to their own expectations. In my experience, that is what I've experienced.
See, okay, all right. Notice I ain't heard from men in a while, so you know what time it is. It's roll call. Boy with two Y's. Squillo 24. Shout out to him. Cow the cow. Simply Shay. I know that's a woman, but Shay need to come in here and leave some messages as well. Who else we got in here? OG BMB. Okay, I see you. I need to hear from the guys. Like I'm loving what I'm getting from the ladies. They're going and not only saying what they mean, but they mean what they say. So I need to hear from these dudes. The dudes are like, hey, nah, man, I'm gonna sit in the cut. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just let them talk. They talk. Okay, that's fine. But just know, man, we got to start setting standards too, because if the women are telling us what they want and what they deserve, and y'all don't match that shit, like, hey, well, why do you need that? Then it's become the standard. That is the rule. There is no exception because you didn't come and say this is what I want, and that's a lot of problems with us men. Like we let shit slide, and we're just like, oh, we cool with it. That's fine. And then when it is time to speak up, you really can't have a dog in a fight because they didn't ask you 3 or 4 times. So, fellas, now's the time. Get on the floor.
That's a fact.
I do believe that women and men are getting the books of wife and girlfriend mixed up and husband and boyfriend mixed up. No, you need to call before you come over to my house. And you better get here before 10 o'clock, because I don't answer my phone after 10 or my door after 10. I will invite you over for Sunday dinner. Don't think that's automatic. I got some rules and I got some quirks, but there's some reasons behind it.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. I hear it though.
You are breaking up like crazy, my dude. I don't know what it is, but you like glip, 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 and I can barely hear
Stereo.
what you're saying. So you might
It's
have to
stereo.
reset it or something.
Yeah, it's stereo. It do not like me. It'd be like, oh, niggas talking? Nope, not today. Not today.
Let's see.
Hey guys, great
What's
conversation.
up?
I was wondering, have y'all heard of Kevin Samuels?
Oh no,
And what are you
No,
guys'
no,
thoughts
we're
on
not doing
we're
this.
this?
not doing
We're not
this.
doing this. Nope. 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 Actually, let me talk about it for a second. Let me talk for a second. Please, please, please. Like, somebody asked, so I have to oblige. I have to oblige. Here, but I'm not going to mention him. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm not going to give him any more light than he needs. What I will say is this. Um, there's a time and place for that shit, and I feel like a lot of people are feeding into it, and they're trying to give people the honest truth, but they're being really like hurtful and derogatory in the process, and it's not cool because it's going to go to a point where now, like, if he says it to be true, and we're rating people from 1 to 10, that's how people are going to be rated now. There will be no expectations anymore. There will be no, hey, that person might be a 6 or a 7, but you know what? They give me everything I deserve. They treat me like a human. And that's my personal problem with that guy, is because he doesn't say what do you do for that person that makes you happy. He goes with the obvious. What do you look like? Do you have a job? And it's like, yo, like, what does that matter if either way? Fuck it. Have said what I said. I'm not a fan of the person. I'm glad that he's popular now, but I feel like it's nothing to hurt somebody's feelings for him, and he thrives on that. And I'm not a fan, so that's just it.
We're not doing a show on him, so I don't have
Yeah,
anything to say about him. I just feel like if
yeah,
if you have an opinion about what you're doing as a woman or a man, I don't feel like he's the go-to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, my sister and I tested positive, and I'm quarantining away from her. She has 2 kids, and she asked me, she was like, what am I going to do with the kids? And I was like, their father. Like, what do you mean? And she was like, I don't trust him with the kids. So now I'm
Oh
like,
wow, Jesus,
well, why do you have kids?
damn.
And
Facts.
that's so foul of me to say because I don't have any kids, but it's like it just don't make any sense. Like I, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel bad for her.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
People
that
have
that's
people have marriage, the idea of marriage screwed up. Some people marry the right people that actually want to engage with the fact that they share children and they both want to do all the effort work that goes into it. And then
mm-hmm.
some people have wives who have who they have their kids with, and they just want to be able to pay bills and be physically bodied
Yep,
in the house, and they don't do anything and they don't engage. So maybe when
yep,
she said she doesn't trust her husband with the kids because he doesn't do anything with them, and now all of the responsibility is on him, and she doesn't trust that he's going to do it right, which is both of their fault. When you
yep,
enable someone to not do, and then they need to do,
mm-hmm.
especially in a marriage because that's a partnership, especially when it involves kids, you're shooting yourself in the foot because you
Facts.
are going to get sick. You are going to be bedridden for something within your marriage, and the other parent, your husband or your wife, has to show up in positions where you would normally be. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why you can't be in a marriage one-sided. And
Yep,
that's why you shouldn't be marrying somebody you don't trust to pay your bills correctly, to pay the mortgage, to go to work when they
yep,
say they're going to work, to show up and pick up your kids on time. Like, there's a lot of people in marriages who are living like single parents.
yep, yep.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say about that?
Honestly, no. Like, I'm not gonna keep speaking from experience. I'm a married guy. I keep saying that shit. Like, it's just it's very interesting to hear new perspectives. So I'm with it. Like, I appreciate the fact that everybody leaving these damn voicemails stuff. That's what is making me happy. Y'all making me want to drink, and I can't drink until fucking April 3rd. Y'all are doing so good. I love y'all so much. Love y'all so much for real.
See, I always come into a relationship asking for things myself, but
Mm-hmm.
everything I ask for, I can do myself. So the
So
thing is, if I'm going to do it myself and I'm going to be the only one doing it, then I might as well be the only one in this relationship because that's what
facts.
I've run into. I'm the one that cooks,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that cleans, I'm the one that pays the bills, but don't always get that in return. So,
Yep.
what's up?
Yeah. You
What's
gotta
up?
be with people. Yeah, you got to be with people who, not only just pick up the slack, but they're willing to learn the shit. So in the event that you can't do it, they have to do it because it's only you and them. So I've heard of people be like, "Oh, yo, I can do this, but this person can't do that." Well, why? Why are y'all together then? Because they should be teaching you how to do it so you can do it when they're not around, or if they can't do it with COVID. Imagine right now if like my wife got sick, knock on wood. One of us gets sick, the other one has to pick up the slack because we have a baby in this house.
Yeah.
And that's just how shit works out. But a lot of people, like, the last caller left and the person before him, like, what happens when you get into these situations where you find out, like, you're in love with this person, you're in a relationship with this person, and they don't do shit? Um, what I'm about to say might sound really, like, fucked up, but it's like, yo, at what point did you know that they didn't do the things that you needed them to do?
A long time ago.
Like, yeah, like, do you like just let shit slide for a while until like you've reached your breaking point? It's like, yo, like I can't do this shit. You can't wash the dish. You're like, but I've been with you for how long? So a lot of people like they need to start taking the blame for the shit that they don't speak up on. Like, if you know for a fact that that girl, she don't do what you want her to do in the bed, and the reason why you cheating and doing shit like that, boom, like I, go talk to her about that. Tell her about that, ladies, y'all too. You know, if the dude is out here stepping out on you, be like, hey, what the fuck am I not doing right? Go ahead and have them hard conversations. Do them things that are necessary. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, as a guy who's done this shit before, your ass gonna be left high and dry. I'm sorry. It is the truth. Like, I don't know how many fucking Tyler Perry movies have told people, like, yo, like that motherfucker will leave you. They will leave you. We've seen celebrities do the shit all the time. They leave the wife leave the husband. Why? They don't give a fuck about them no more. Times have changed. They've grown apart. But the hard conversations have to be had, man. So again, to tie this back in, are you wifey or not? Like, are you her man or not? Like, are you going to be that person that, like holds that title? Because a lot of people are husbands and are wives, and they honestly are the side chick, the side nigga, and they don't even know it.
Don't even know it.
They don't even know it. Oh, like, I'm not gonna put people out there, but I'm like, I've seen some people who are, they think everything is all high and mighty and stuff like that, and it really ain't that behind them closed doors. That's why, like, I stopped posting so much on social media because I was like, yo, like, when her and I argue, we argue. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, hey, I love you and put a post up on Instagram all the fucking time. No, no, I don't do that. We've been together for way too fucking long. So when I see people, in these clubhouse rooms and on stereo when he have these conversations, stuff like that, notice I keep asking the fucking question: are you wifey or not? Dudes, are you that dude or not? Are you gonna be that dude that she can say, you know what, he got me? Ladies, are you gonna be that woman who's like, yo, she got me? When you go on these dating sites, you put out these profiles and shit like that. Everybody is telling, like, pretty much selling themselves. No, stop selling yourself. Go out and be somebody who's purchasing that shit now. Be like, you know what? You know what? I'm the buyer today. I want to buy my relationship, so to speak. Like, I want to know what the fuck I'm getting. Because a lot of y'all, like, y'all have great personalities, like, on these online profiles and shit like that. But y'all hollow as shit on the inside, bro. Like, people don't have fucking people skills. And it scares me. It
Yeah.
absolutely fucking scares me. When we were reading off the messages where homeboy was like, yo, like, I smoke and I drink. And I'm like, yo, don't know why do I need to know all that right now? Tell me the actual shit that I need to know. I'm on a fucking dating site for a relationship. I don't need to know your favorite color is green and that you saw The Wire. I don't care about that shit. What the fuck? What is your worth? What is your fucking worth? So when we had this talk, and we've had this talk, this is part 2 now, and we're asking right now, are you wifey or not? Are you the dude or not? Are you bringing them tangibles? Are you going to be that person where if we put you in a speed dating room, if we put you with somebody who met all your qualifications, the shit that you wanted from them, can you match that shit?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about surface level. Hey, this dude has to be 6'1". He got to be 235 pounds. He got to wear all the nice Jordans and shit. He got to dress nice. He got to look nice in a suit. He got to do this. And fellas, it can't be, oh, she got to have a big ass and big titties, and she got to be, slim waist. She got to wear yoga pants and sundresses and shit like that. Like, yo, like, ask them real fucking questions. Ask the question like, yo, like, can you cook for yourself right now? When I say cook, I'm not talking about fucking Alfredo. I'm not talking about that you can go and microwave minute rice and then put fucking ground beef in it. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm saying, can you cook for yourself?
Oh
Because I
man.
got me. I can cook. I know for a fact if today or tomorrow, like, God bless the dead, anything, if anything would have ever happened and my wife and I are no longer together, I can do for self. The reason why I'm with her is because, yes, I can do for myself. She can do for herself. But you know what? We work good together. So, am I husband or not? Yes, I'm husband or not. But I'm still learning. I need people that are single, not to like listen to people who are married just because we have that history and we have that. Take
Yeah.
the faults that you see from your friends like me. When we're talking about, yo, like, marriage is hard. Yes, it is fucking hard. But, yo, take the advice I'm giving you, but also take your own personal experiences in your relationships. That's why it irritates me when I hear, women and men are like, yo, like, I'm tired of dating the same women. But I'm like, yo, did you just say what you just said? You're tired of dating the same. Why the fuck do you keep dating the same? Because you got to type. Once you admit that you got to fucking type, everything works so much better. Because now you're like, you know what? I'm going to go and step outside of the box. How many clubhouse rooms where it's like, why do black men hate black women? How do black women hate black men? And then every single fucking room that they have these on, somebody comes in the room and says, have you ever thought about dating outside of your race? Have you ever thought about like just sitting down and saying, what do I want? And the answer is always fucking no. You know why? Because it's easier for people to fucking argue with the people that they don't want to be with. Like, why are you even you ain't gonna entertain them to fuck them. You're not gonna entertain them to date them. Why are you wasting your time?
Because
Why?
a lot of people don't want to be alone with themselves.
No, they don't. They don't. How many times Shay and I did a talk maybe 2 months ago when I was like, yo, like, it is okay to just say, you know what? You are just somebody that I want to fuck. But tell them that shit. Yo, some people are just like, remember when people used to write in yearbooks and shit, keep in touch? No, don't keep in touch with a lot of the motherfuckers. Don't leave them alone. I'm telling you, that shit is a disaster waiting. There's some people right now in this chat, if I'm lying, I'm flying. But I'll tell you this: there are some people right now that are fucking people from their past because that's what their comfort zone is, and they
Yeah.
don't want to get to know new people. They are happy with what they can get from said person. But the issue with that is you're never going to get what you want from that person other than that one thing. But you got a laundry list of other things that you need somebody else to do. Find you somebody who's going to complete that fucking list. If you got 60 things and 59 are unchecked, you know what? You ain't complete. You ain't complete. You're not even 3% right now. Your iPhone is just dead right now. That shit, it needs 15 minutes to charge. You need to go ahead and just chill. So I tell people all the fucking time, and this is just not like the married guy who's talking advice and giving advice and shit like that. I just see y'all. If I was single, I would say the same shit. I'm like, yo, y'all please answer the question. Are you wifey or not? Are you relationship worthy? Are you going to be able to approach a relationship like a adult? Are you going to say, you know what? I want this out of my man. I want this as my woman. So maybe we shouldn't even say wifey or husband. Like, are you the person that you would want in your relationship?
That part. That part.
Are you that? Shank, can you please change the name of this room right now? Because I don't even want to see the word wifey anymore. Like, are you the person that you want to date? Because a lot of people, the answer going to be fucking no. And if it is yes, God bless you. Because that's what we need in the world. Because I'm tired of them fucking clubhouses. I'm tired of people on Twitter talking about men ain't shit, bitches ain't shit, hoes ain't shit. I'm tired of talking about Future and all the people he date. I'm tired of people like Boosie talking about Lori Harvey and women that he can't fucking attain. Lori Harvey is not checking for fucking Boosie. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. Yo, it be the ugliest niggas with the highest expectations. And even I be looking like, there's no motherfucking way this is possible. Stop this. Stop the fucking madness.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry if I'm yelling at these people, but I'm really sincere about this shit because if like have you ever like Shan, have you ever just been somewhere and you've been listening to one of your friends talk about their relationship woes and shit like that? And it's like, yo, like, but this is the fifth nigga you done told me about. And they all starting to run together. Like
Mhm.
Adam and Jake and Billy and Randy and Ron. I'm like, all of
That's
them starting
how
to
the
sound like the same
conversation
fucking dude.
starts. This is how the conversation starts. You remember the one that I met at such and such? No, I don't.
Yo,
Mhm.
no, I don't.
Oh.
No, sweetheart, I do not. The reason why I don't remember because they all look the same, they all sound the same, they all dress the same, they still act the same. I'm like, yo, like, well, is it just rinse and repeat? Like, okay, the dude that treated you like shit, you're like, all right, I'm done with him, but I'm gonna get me a dude who don't treat me as shitty, but he still is a piece of shit. It's like, okay, cool. Or dudes, I was one. Like, okay, I'm gonna date this girl who, you know, she has all the boxes that I want, but you know what? I'm not gonna take her seriously because you know what? I like to be out here still fucking off. I still like going and fucking with this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, knowing that I had somebody that I actually wanted to fuck with. This is just me, personal experiences here. But when I go on social media, when I hear dudes talk about what they want from women, either they don't talk or their expectations of some shit. Honestly, the only person that can meet the shit, Shan, I'm gonna say it, is their mother.
Hmm.
Every dude that's like, I'm like, yo, what do you want from a woman? And it's like that shit kind of sounds like something that you were raised, something that was taught to you, something that your mom or your parents told you that that's what you should want from a woman. Like, I need me a woman that's gonna take care of me. I need a woman that's gonna make my plate first on Thanksgiving. Bro, that sounds like some shit your mother says. That's not what you want. You need to sit down and say, what do I want? And this is just to the men here. So, sorry if I sound like a baddie, whatever the fuck that word is. All I'm gonna say is this, man. Like, a lot of people just need to actually sit down with themselves. Take this fucking quarantine, this pandemic. If people haven't learned themselves yet, you can't be with nobody else. When we come out of this shit, if you're single, there's a fucking reason why. I mean that shit from the bottom of my heart. Like, if you were looking for a relationship and it's been fucking a year now, and you haven't said, you know what, I'm searching, but I can't find the right one, blah, 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 blah. You know why? Because the right one is you right now. The right one is you. You need to go ahead and sit down and just talk to yourself. Get to know yourself. Feel on yourself. Go get you the little pussy sucker toy. Go get you a fleshlight. Have
Yeah.
fun. Because what's gonna happen is you need to be with you. Please. But a
Yeah.
lot of people, they don't even like themselves enough, Shan, to actually be with themselves. That's why they always with somebody. Oh,
Yeah.
this guy that I'm talking to this week. No, bro, how long have you been single enough to actually get to know yourself? Oh, well, I stopped dating that guy like 4 weeks ago. Or, you know what, I dumped him for Valentine's Day, but you know what? I'm going to Tulum this week with this dude. What the fuck? What? You couldn't even get over Valentine's Day, dude, and you talk about going to Tulum with this guy. Like, we gotta stop this shit.
Mm.
So are you the person you want to date? I need to know this fucking question. Like, all these voicemails we got piling up, and I'm sorry, y'all can talk after I'm done, and I'm almost done. I need y'all to answer that fucking question for me. Are you the person that you want to date? If right now you and you didn't know, obviously it's not gonna be facial, like it's not gonna be like you, like your twin in like male or female form. But that person that's checking all your fucking boxes, like, are you going to date them?
Mm.
I need to know that, please.
I'm gonna play him.
I feel you on that. My mom was the same way. But I think a lot of people they've gotten to a point to where they're settling because they think they can't do any better than that.
That's true. That's true. And I refuse. I'm not settling. I can't. The truth to be all over my face.
Facts.
What kills me is a man slash boyfriend. I always want his girlfriend to be submissive. Like,
Mm.
I don't understand that. That is for husband and wife. Yeah, it's okay to cook, clean, to do all that, blah, 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 whoop the woo. But at the end of the day, what are you going to give that woman? You want her to do the whole 9 yards. What are you gonna give that woman? What? Have her in a 5 to 6 year relationship, still haven't engaged to her? Like that's ridiculous. Like women, stand your ground.
Girl,
See,
sometimes it be
see,
10-year, 15-year relationships.
man,
No,
what?
then you gotta ask yourself, am I lying to myself?
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, trust me, I've had the hard conversations. That's exactly why I'm single man right now. Because
Yeah.
See,
I keep running into like and you got a good point with that. Changing my what I'm looking for. But this funny part for me is I've done that a couple different times. That's why I'm staying single for the moment, so I can figure out exactly what I need for myself in this relationship. Because apparently I'm not getting it right. Because I keep running into every time I change my mannerism on what I'm looking for, it changes. Like I'll give myself a couple days, couple years, couple months, figure out what I need to learn about myself. And when I get to that point of figuring out what I want, then I go and look for it. But then every time I get it, it's never where I need to be at. So I just maybe need to do a little bit more learning of myself or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Man, make yourself
yes,
a
look,
woman filter. I
yo,
have a man filter. Make yourself a woman filter. And whatever you know that you need at this current time of where you're at, if you're gonna engage with somebody, and they don't fit it, then just leave it.
yep.
It's so much easier and simpler to do it that way. Make yourself a
Mm-hmm.
woman filter, and women make yourself a man filter, and then you'll stop wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You know what you say? I agree with you, my brother. When I first met my wife, you know what I'm saying? I was a street nigga. I was running around doing this and that, you know what I'm saying? I got locked up. She was just a canteen for me. She was, the person to take care of me, hold me down. But as I got to know her, you know what? 20 years later, she's my woman. That's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's my partner. That's my queen. That's my everything, you know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, man. You know what I mean? She showed me her worth. 20
Yep.
years later, 20 something plus years later, I'm showing her my worth now.
Mm-hmm.
Roberto learned his lesson.
See, I'm telling you, like, it be them life lessons, man. Whew, boy, shout out to growth.
I
That'll
think
help.
that I guess like in theory, well not in theory, like intellectually, I am wifey material, but I don't have my life isn't
Come on,
stable right now.
honesty.
And so
Mm-hmm.
realistically, I'm not because I can't bring the stability that it would take to be in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to depend on someone immediately.
Yes.
If I were to be in a relationship, that's the main reason why I'm not looking, because my life it's not right now. Like it's not in a place I want it to be. And I want to find someone who would accept me when I am in a place that I want to be.
So you
Because
can
if they would accept me now, then what does that say about them?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into a relationship insecure and feeling like you're not ready within yourself and you don't have the things that you would like to have, and someone is either ahead of you in that stability, no matter how much they love you or how much they don't mind helping you, you feel lopsided within yourself. And when you feel
Mm-hmm.
lopsided within yourself, you leave a space for insecurities to come in, and a space for these stupid questions like this. Why are you with me? You could be with anybody right now. Why me?
Man,
All this dumb
mm,
stuff when it doesn't have to be that. And so I like the fact that she can honestly say that her life is not stable enough to where she wants it in order to
mm-hmm.
engage in a healthy relationship. A lot of people are too selfish to think about stuff like that when they go into it. So that's a good thing.
Exactly. Shout out, man.
Bro, you are not lying. Bro, you are not lying. For real, you are not lying. That is so true. Whether a relationship starts new
or whether it doesn't start, it always go back to your exes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy, man.
I have
Out
to
the
speak
throat.
on this because I feel like you're speaking to this idea of potential, right? Potential is blinding. When you're like dating,
Mm-hmm.
talking to somebody, you're often blinded by the potential of that person. But what we really need to be like focused on is like, is this person right for you now? If this person weren't ever to change at all, is that enough for you? And if it's not, then you gotta go. Like, we gotta stop relying on potential. It literally is like toxic dating culture.
Absolutely. I only say this when it comes to potential. Fuck that shit. My thing is, I don't go into any situation with potential. I ain't got potential friends. I ain't got potential family. Either you got it or you don't. I don't do potential. I don't want to say I'm a good judge of character or I read people well, but my thing is, once I start seeing signs that like it's kind of chipping off at the paint of that person, and I start seeing those other layers, and if I don't like what I see, you're fucking gone. Like that's just how I've always been. Friendships, relationships, people at work, jobs, shit like that. Like if I start seeing chinks in the armor that you didn't tell me about beforehand, I have to go. I literally have to leave. And the reason why I'm that way is because I've been burnt too many times by letting people get their shit off and not taking the signs for what they were. So when people tell me they have all the potential in the world, I'm like, yeah, I'm all cool with you having potential, but let me know when you've actually reached your potential. Once you do, then we can fuck around. Then we can go and talk. We can have them conversations. But right now, like, the microwave is still going for you. It's not warmed up yet. And since
Yeah.
it's not warmed up yet, I'm not ready to eat. And if I'm not ready to eat, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to snack until it's ready.
I'm just snacking right now.
Fact.
All right, y'all. We have 10 solid minutes before we close out the show. This is Loudmouth Stereo. My name is Shan from She Gets a Podcast. That is Greg from Young Black and Bothered. We appreciate y'all coming in here and leaving y'all comments. Greg is trying to get into Snowfall tonight. So as
Damn right.
I'm gonna get him out of here for that 10 p.m. Time frame. If you have any messages or comments you would like to leave, any businesses that you have that you would like to promote, anything that you're doing that can help somebody else or advice, drop it in the messages right now. I'm gonna go through them. And once we go through them, then we'll recap what we learned, what we could take away, and we're out of here.
Mm.
They always look for the one that looks the same. They always look for the one that look alike. They get comfortable that way.
Yeah.
Let's be
Fact.
ready.
Facts, man. Just
Right. Malik.
I get what you're saying. But according to Sigmund Freud, there's a thing out there where girls are attracted to their dads when they're babies, and vice versa for dudes to their moms. And that is why when a guy describes what they want in a woman, it sounds more like what a mother would do.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. My issue is not with, the tangibles that your mother, like the lessons that your mom has taught you. It's how do you apply those into the relationships with the people that that you want to be with. So yeah, your mom can teach you everything in the world. Oh, she teaches you how to take out the trash, how to do the dishes and stuff like that. But that's on you. Those are like traits and habits that she taught you. You don't go and apply those to the women or the men in your life that should be doing that for you. Like I'm a large proponent of like what Shan said earlier. Women should know things that way they don't have to depend on a man to do it because their dad said that the guy should do it. There are women that know how to change tires. Like me, for personally, I don't know how to drive stick. My sister does though because our father taught her that. Well, I'm sorry, our stepfather taught her that, and she knows that she can do that. I can't do that. I can learn it if I wanted to, but I appreciate the fact that she knows it. So she doesn't have to go depend on a man to say, you know what? I'm going to teach you how to drop stick. That's something that she's already learned. She doesn't have that as a requirement for a man in her life. Oh, I have to learn, I have to have a man that drops a stick. No, I do that. I don't need you for that. So to, counter what you're saying, no, I don't need the woman to be my mom. I need to take all the life lessons that my mom taught me, applied it to myself to make myself a better man for the woman that I want to be with. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, anything else.
Sex.
Boss, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Boss man, you are not wrong. So don't feel bad. You are not wrong for what you're saying. There's a lot of boys out here, they want a mommy for a wife.
Couldn't
And then
be me, man.
nobody talks about the boys who had shitty mothers and have a vendetta against women because their mom was shitty.
Oh, oh no, we ain't gonna do that tonight. Nope,
We
we ain't gonna do
not,
that
but
tonight.
that is another side of, looking at women like your mom. And the other
Mm-hmm.
side is women who think all men ain't shit because their daddy never showed up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking? You at 9:54, Shane? You gonna
I
go ahead and spit like that?
mean,
You
this
gonna
is where
spit
we
like
got
that at
to.
9:50?
I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. I see you. I
See,
see
that's the
you.
thing, though. All right, I get where you're coming from. All right, but see, when I'm coming with what I'm coming with, I'm giving everything. All right, and
Yes.
I'm gonna be expecting everything I'm giving. All right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna expect
Yep.
anything more than what I'm giving. Now, if you're giving what I'm giving, then that's the quick look. That's the quickest way to get a ring on your
Yep.
finger from me. All right,
Talk.
if we on the same page, we on the same team, we going down the same road, down the same path. Then yeah, that ring will be on your finger quicker than you know it.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta
Yep.
find that first. I gotta find
See.
that there's somebody that's truly on my team and not just on my team for the benefits. Because that's what I keep running into. Motherfuckers that want to benefit from the good guy.
The
See.
good guy just did a show on that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's say they ready for you. Let's say they ready to be down for you at your lowest. All right, that's what you
Mm-hmm.
want. You want somebody that's
Yep.
gonna be there at your lowest as well as there at your highest points. All right. Now, I get where you coming from. You want to be more established. You want to come into a relationship not needing from somebody. I feel that 100%. All right. But if a motherfucker is down for you, you know what I'm saying, and it's true and it's real, then what does that matter? You know what I'm saying? As long as y'all on the same team and y'all working to build together, that's the main thing. Working to build together. You know what I'm saying? As long as y'all on a positive stage and on a positive mannerism on moving forward and building together, then what else really matters?
Mm.
Finances don't.
Fact.
As long as your mindset is where it needs to be at as wifey material, then nothing else really matters as far as I'm concerned.
That's a
Mm.
fact.
A
He,
word.
he know what he talking about.
Yep.
I got cut off, man. I see all my boys doing it, this online dating and stuff. You know what? Try the old school way, man. Try the face to
Mm-hmm.
face. Get to know the
Yep.
person. Put the phone down. Try dating
Yep.
somebody without looking at their social media. See if you can
Yes,
learn
man.
about that person that way. Leave the phones,
So
leave the media behind. Let's see if you can find your woman that way.
yes, yeah, right there. And I'm going to expound on this really quick. Like a lot of people don't have people skills because they have so many fucking options. That's
Yeah.
why the online dating shit, it can work for many. It worked for me, but there are a lot of people who are like, you know what? I don't have to get to know this person because there's so many more people. But
Mm.
apply that at a bar, apply that at a restaurant, apply that at a party when it's only a small bubble of people that you can not only pick from them, but you actually have to be yourself. A lot of people are who they are on these apps and on social media and shit like that. But when you get them alone and you actually have to have that hard conversation with them, like, hey, can you read good? Hey, what, like, tell me something about you. And the only thing they can tell you is, hey, here's my SoundCloud link. Hey, here's my Instagram page. Like, no, I need to get to know you. I want to know that person. But a lot of people aren't who the fuck they say they are. So, like you said, yeah, sometimes you just gonna have to start at the beginning, which is getting to know people. Shake their hand. Hey, I'm this person. Who are you? I'm attracted to you. I want to get to know you. Start at surface level shit. Stop with the copy paste. Stop with the, this is what I want from my bitches. Like, no, no, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Not around here. No, sir.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Just What's Lord up, Shmeek big? passing through these stereo streets. Just wanted to say hey to you guys. I know y'all about to close out the show, but just wanted to let you guys know I was tuned in for a few minutes. Appreciate it. Peace and blessings to you.
Absolutely, man.
I just joined the podcast and I seen,
I think it probably cut him off.
Probably come back in here, but those are some good messages. I appreciate them. A lot of good points were made. My takeaways tonight is I'm happy people are realizing that they don't have to be with anybody while they're learning themselves. I'm happy people are peeping the people that come into their spaces and take from them and don't pour in anything. And I just want more people to stop coming to the table empty-handed. That's in everything. That's in friendships. That's in partnerships. That's in business. That's in romantic relationships. Stop coming in empty-handed. If you feel like you working with one leg and two arms and not enough hands, then you don't need to be in a relationship. Your focus is how you can be stable within yourself. You know, you need two whole people to make a whole thing work. And once we start being honest about that shit, then I feel like balance would come back in play.
Yeah. What I learned today is honestly like it's good to have a community of people on any platform, stereo, podcast listeners, and things like that are like-minded. I just hope that people, don't think that we have the answers to everything because we actually got a lot of our questions answered from the audience. So I appreciate that like so much, man. I hope that, our next show, people do the same thing regardless of what the topic's going to be because the only reason we're here is to grow the audience, but grow in our mental space, if you want to call it that. So I've learned a lot from both the women and the men. So I appreciate everybody for leaving the voicemails and saying what you guys said. I'm just happy because now I know that a lot of y'all are the people that you want to date. That right there, that's the question I got answered, and I love it. I love it. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming through for Loudmouth Stereo. We appreciated it. This is another great show because of y'all. And if you missed the beginning of the show or the middle of the show or you came in at the end, don't worry, we got you. This will be on Young Black and Bothered's podcast later on this week or next week. And this will be on She Gets It podcast later on this week or next week so you could get the full show. The full show will be on the Stereo app about 5 minutes after we're done. To those of you who are checking out Snowfall tonight, second season, enjoy. If you're not, go ahead and start watching the first season. I will be up probably till 2 a.m. because I took an adult nap. Greg, this was a good one. I appreciate it.
Yes, it was. We definitely did that part too. I feel vindicated now. So Stereo, you have redeemed yourself today. Just today though. Again, everybody, I wanted to repeat what Chan said and reiterate it. Saturday, we will have a topic. Y'all are going to enjoy it. And there may not be a time limit depending because I don't think there's a UFC fight this week. So with that being said, we better see y'all all on Saturday.
Yes. Bye.